Live on a Sunday afternoon, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey. As the first of a two-game series between the Grizzlies and the Orlando Solar Bears. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. It's game 5 of a 6-game road trip for the Grizzlies and the first of 2 season meetings between the Grizz and the Orlando Solar Bears. Remember, these teams will meet tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock. Last year, these teams met twice over at Amway Center. On both occasions, the game ended in overtime. So I'm expecting a couple close games here between the Grizzlies and the Solar Bears. Utah's won 2 in a row, and they've got a standing point in 3 straight games. As on Wednesday night, the Grizzlies got a 4-3 victory over the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. Cameron Wright had 2 goals that evening, and Cam Strong had 1 goal and 1 assist. On Friday, Cam Strong had another 2 goals, and Cam Strong also found the back of the net as Utah defeated the Savannah Ghost Pirates by a 6-1 score. Dylan Fitz scored 14 seconds into Friday's game, and we'll see what he does. He's very familiar with Amway Center, as he played with the Solar Bears each of the last 3 seasons. 2 pretty good teams in action tonight. The Grizzlies are 5-4-1 in their last 10 games, while the Orlando Solar Bears are 6-2-2 in their last 10. So something's got to give over at Amway Center, as the Grizzlies have a record of 21-24-2 on the season, while the Orlando Solar Bears are 24-26-1. I'm hanging out at the lobby at Maverick Center, and the Grizzlies are 2 time zones away. And believe me, it's a little bit colder in the Salt Lake Valley than it is in Florida. I think the temperature in Orlando right now is around 80 degrees. It looks like they're showing a fan chugging a beer on the video feed that I have on Flow Sports, and that was quite the chug. It took him about 10 seconds to chug that full beer, as will be a lot of fun this afternoon. The Grizzlies take on the Solar Bears as Utah looks for their 3rd straight victory. When we come back to the Utah Grizzlies pregame report, we'll talk about Dylan Fitz, who's returning home to face his former teammates for the first time, as he spent the last 3 years with the Orlando Solar Bears. We're grooving on a Sunday afternoon, and this is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. Face off in about 15 minutes from now as the Grizzlies take on the Orlando Solar Bears in the first of a 2-game series. Well, Dylan Fitz is very familiar with Amway Center and probably the restaurants and places that surround the arena, as Dylan Fitz played in 129 games with Orlando over a 3-year stretch. He was traded by the Solar Bears to the Grizzlies on March 24th of 2022 for Brian Bowen. Bowen just recently signed with the Norfolk Admirals, and fun fact, He actually scored a goal this afternoon for Norfolk as they're taking on Worcester in kind of a strange game where they played the first period last night. And then both Zambonis apparently broke down and they couldn't resurface the ice. And so they postponed the game or ended up playing the last two periods here this afternoon. And Brian Bowen just recently was picked up by the Norfolk Admirals. He played one game with Orlando earlier this year and then was released. And Bowen scored a goal for the Norfolk Admirals. But I think the Grizzlies won the trade because you think about Dylan Fitz, he's really been a consistent stalwart for the Grizzlies since joining the club. He joined late in the regular season last year, and in 9 games, he had 7 points, 3 goals, and 4 assists. And in 18 games in the 2022 Kelly Cup playoffs, Fitz had 9 points, 6 goals, and 3 assists. And 5 of those 6 playoff goals came in the third period of games. And you think about game 2 against Rapid City, everybody remembers Dastu scoring the game winner with 7 seconds left in regulation. Well, what really kept the Grizzlies in that game was 2 big third period goals by Dylan Fitz, who's been really consistent for the Grizzlies. And you think about this year, he's played in all 47 games. Him and Tyler Penner are the only 2 Grizzlies players to appear in every game. Dylan Fitz has 10 goals and 9 assists in 47 games for the Grizzlies this year. But he's coming off probably his best game as a Grizzly last year this season. And that came on Friday night against the Savannah Ghost Pirates. We had a Gordie Howe hat trick. He had 1 goal and 2 assists and 5 penalty minutes in the Grizzlies' 6-3 victory over Savannah. And if you think about the Grizzlies, what they did against Savannah, they scored 6 goals, 5 on 5, and then all 3 of Savannah's goals were scored on the special teams. 2 power play goals and a shorthanded goal by the Ghost Pirates, all 3 of those goals coming in the second period. But Dylan Fitz has really been a blue-collar worker for the Grizzlies, and he's one of those north-south players. He doesn't really do anything too fancy. He just kind of is a very matter-of-fact player, skates north-south, blue-collar, a good team leader. He does have an A on his sweater this year as one of the assistant or alternate captains for the Grizzlies, as Connor McDonald's wearing the C and James Shearer, the other guy, wearing the A for the Grizzlies. And so Fitz has been a team leader for the club. You know, he's been somebody you can count on game in and game out. And for the Grizzlies, we'll see what Dylan Fitz does against his former team. He's actually going to be my pick for the Optum first goal of the game. Remember, with Optum, it's the first goal of the game. Make your pick on the YouTube chat, on the live stream. With Optum Healthcare, we're creating a healthier world, one insight, one connection, one person at a time. Optum is committed to making healthcare work better, leading the way to better experiences, better health, and lower costs for you. That's Optum Healthcare, the sponsor of the Optum first goal of the game. And my pick goes to Dylan Fitz. He did get it on Friday as he was the Optum first goal of the game winner, as he scored 14 seconds into the contest, and then the Grizzlies scored 3 more goals in the first period. They ended up with 4 goals, which is the most by a Grizzlies team in any one period in a game this season. And so for the Grizzlies, they'd like to get off to a fast start once again against Orlando. If you think about the Grizzlies in the last 2 games, really played with the lead. You know, the Grizzlies are outstanding when scoring first, as they're 14-3 when tallying the first goal. The Grizzlies are 7-0 when leading after 1 period, and when leading after 2, the Grizzlies are 16-1. So Utah's been a really good team in terms of playing with the lead, and we'll see if that will happen this afternoon against the Orlando Solar Bears, a team the Grizzlies met twice last season. Both games ended up going to overtime. The Grizzlies lost 4-3 in OT on January 27th of 2022, and then 3 days later, on January 31st, actually it was 4 days later, Luke Martin got the game winner in overtime as Utah won 3-2. So we'll see what happens here in the first of a 2-game set between the Grizzlies and the Orlando Solar Bears. When we return to the Grizzlies pregame report, we'll give you the lineups for both teams, as we're in business on a Sunday afternoon, and you're listening to the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. Face off in a few minutes over at Amway Center as I'm hanging out in the lobby at Maverick Center on a remote feed. Let's get to the starting lineups. First for the visiting Utah Grizzlies, who are led by second-year head coach Ryan Kanaswich. His assistant is the Sandy, Utah native of Jared Pike. And starting in net for the Grizzlies will be Lucas Preek, who's got a record of 6-8 this season with one shutout, a 3.49 goals against average, and even .900 save percentage. Preek is 6'4" and 195 pounds. He's a former third-round draft pick by the LA Kings back in 2019. His backup is a Salt Lake City native, Garrett Metcalf. 7 defensemen for the Grizzlies tonight. The 2 starters, the Grizzlies captain Connor McDonald, who was a +3 in the game in Greenville, and he was outstanding against the Swamp Rabbits, where he had 2 assists in Utah's 4-3 victory. He'll be paired up with Aaron Tho, wearing number 28. Those got 2 goals and 6 assists in 42 games. This is his 3rd different team this year. He's also played with Savannah and Norfolk, the Admirals, and Aaron Tho will be wearing number 28. The other defensemen we're expected to see tonight include Victor Bartley, who's back after missing 4 straight games due to paternity leave. Bartley will be wearing number 42. He's got 1 goal and 8 assists in 32 games. Andrew Nilsson, 9 goals and 27 assists. He leads the Grizzlies in assists and is second on the club with 36 points. Nilsson is 6'4" and 230 pounds. We'll also see James Shearer, the first full season pro. He played at the University of Calgary. Shearer wearing number 10. He's got 1 goal and 8 assists in 29 games. We'll also see Bryson Martin in there. He's got 6 points in 34 games. Kyle Pouncey wearing number 23. He's got 1 goal and 6 assists in 42 games. And so that's the other defenseman. We got McDonald and Tho starting. The other defensemen are Bartley, Shearer, Nilsson, Martin, and Pouncey. Starting forwards for the Grizzlies, the former Orlando Solar Bear Dylan Fitz, who hopes to get some revenge against his former team. Fitz is coming off an outstanding performance in Savannah, where he had a Gordie Howe hat trick with 1 goal, 2 assists, and a fight. This season, Dylan Fitz is one of 5 Grizzlies skaters to have 10 or more goals this season, as he has 10 goals and 9 assists in 47 games. And Fitz and Tyler Penner are the only 2 Grizzlies skaters to appear in every game this season. Penner is also starting for Utah this afternoon. He's got 8 goals and 6 assists in 47 games. He's 5'11" and 182 pounds. And he'll be matched up with Taryn Fizer, who's second on the club with 13 goals this year. He's also got 14 assists in 37 games. So starting forwards are Fitz, Penner, and Fizer. We're also expected to see Dakota Raby, who's been outstanding in 2 games back after missing 5 straight due to injury. Raby has 6 goals and 17 assists in 42 games. Keaton Jamison has 18 points in 46 games, 8 goals and 10 assists. And I don't think anybody's been any hotter than Cameron Wright, who has 2 points in each of his last 3 games. Wright has 6 points in his last 3 contests, and he leads the Grizzlies with 17 goals this season. He also leads the club with 37 points in 42 games. Christian Simeone, the second-year pro out of Merrimack, will be in there wearing number 24. Cam Strong's been hot as of late. He had 1 goal and 1 assist on Wednesday night, and he scored a first-period goal on Friday. Strong has 8 goals in 45 games this season. And the Rooster, Jordan Martell, 6 goals and 16 assists in 39 games. Vladislav Mikalchuk will also be in there. He had an assist on Friday night against Savannah. So starting forwards are Fitz, Penner, and Fizer. We'll also see Raby, Jamison, and Wright, along with Simeone, Strong, Martell, and Vladislav Mikalchuk, the native of Slovakia. Starting in net for the Orlando Solar Bears, who have a record of 24-26-1 this season. They're led by first-year head coach Matt Karkner. His assistant is Ben Holmstrom. In net will be Jimmy Pareda, who's got a record of 5-3 this season. This will be Pareda's 9th game of the season. He's got an ECHL contract. He's a native of Buffalo, New York. Also spent some time with the Knoxville Ice Bears, and he's kind of bounced around this league a little bit. Paredes has a 2.26 goals against average and 927 save percentage. Starting defensive pairing, Chris Harper wearing number 4. He's got 1 goal and 5 assists in 51 games and a +3 rating. And Harper's played in all 51 for the Orlando Solar Bears. He'll be paired up with Michael Brodzinski, who's one of the best scoring defensemen in the league. Brodzinski has 39 points in 51 games. Starting forwards, the 2018 ECHL MVP Sean Sidlowski, who's a longtime member of the Fort Wayne Comets. He'll be in there for Orlando in 40 games. He's got 13 goals and 15 assists. Jaden Daru has 12 points in 24 games. Daru is on an NHL entry-level deal with the Tampa Bay Lightning. And Tristan Langen, who's in his 4th year as a Solar Bear. Langen has 13 goals and 28 assists in 51 games. Scratches for the Grizzlies, Corey Thomas, Joey Kolatarsi, as well as Johnny Walker and Zach Sekos. Scratches for the Solar Bears, defenseman Luke McInnes, as well as defenseman Pavel Borobi. Brandon McCarra is also a scratch, as is Matthew Barnaby, who is the son of Matthew Barnaby, and Joe Carroll is also out of the Orlando lineup. One guy to watch out for, we mentioned Sidlowski, who's been outstanding this year, but Tristan Lang is their leading scorer among active Solar Bears with 41 points. And also watch out for Ross Olson, the former Worcester Railer. Olson has 23 goals this season, so watch out for him. He'll be wearing number 43 for the Solar Bears. It's the Grizzlies and the Solar Bears meeting over at Amway Center. These teams meet periodically. They met 2 times last year. They also met in the 2019-2020 season at Maverick Center, where Utah won 2 one-goal games. And it seems like every time the Grizzlies face the Solar Bears, they're usually lower-scoring games, and they always seem to come down to the wire. Orlando averages 3.1 goals per contest. The Grizzlies average 2.8. Both teams allow just about the same amount of shots per game, as both clubs allow 34.8 shots per contest. Both teams are pretty similar on the special teams. Orlando's power play is 19.1% this season. The Grizzlies are 19.4%. And both teams have a pretty similar penalty kill. The Grizzlies' PK unit has a little bit better percentage at 79.7%. Easy for me to say. Orlando's penalty kill is at 76.6%. So it's going to be a good one here this evening, as the Solar Bears have taken the ice. They've got kind of a purple look with orange mixed in, and white numbers. The Grizzlies are wearing the white jerseys with black numbers and professional green trim. Looks like it's a great crowd over in Orlando, as Jimmy Paredes is going to get the start in net for the Solar Bears, and in net for the Grizzlies will be Lucas Preek, the former 3rd-round pick of the LA Kings. When we come back in 2 minutes, we'll have face-off over at Amway Center. It's the Grizzlies and the Solar Bears. Face-offs coming up next on the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can. and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
It's a great afternoon for hockey as two big standings points are on the line as the Grizzlies take on the Orlando Solar Bears in the first of a two-game series. And for the Grizzlies, it's the fifth game of 6 straight on the road as Utah's got a record of 2-1-1 on the current trip, and they've got a standing point in 3 straight games. I'm Tyson Whiting. The Grizzlies are in a white jersey with black numbers and professional green trim. They have Lucas Preek in net. Back after missing 4 straight games is Victor Bartley. The starting defensive pairing is Connor McDonald and Aaron Tho. The starting forwards, Dylan Fitz, who's my pick for the Optum first goal of the game. Everybody make your pick to figure out who's going to be the first goal of the game, presented by Optum. It's the first Grizzlies goal. Tyler Penner's also in there along with Taryn Pfizer. That's the starting forwards, but also watch out for Cameron Wright, who's been hot as of late as he's got 2 points in each of his last 3 games, and Wright leads the Grizzlies with 37 points this season. Tyler Penner will take the draw at center ice for the Grizzlies. Utah will be skating from left to right as we see it from Flow Sports. In your mind's eye, see it on YouTube. We'll take the draw against Tristan Langen. Utah wins the draw, and they'll feed it out to center ice. Goes back over to Sean Sidlowski. Will dump it in. Sidlowski, the longtime Fort Wayne Comet, as it goes behind Utah's net as Duro, who's got an NHL entry-level deal. Jason's his first name, or Jaden is his first name, as Orlando to the left corner. Langen pitches it up top to the left point as a shot taken by Chris Harper, and it goes wide. Connor McDonald feeds it to the far side. Grizzlies get it out to center. It gets poked away by Penner, and Orlando skates back in. Right side, Brodzinski fakes a shot. He'll spin it along the wall. Aaron Tho gets it, and he'll throw it back to the far side as Brodzinski spins it back around behind the net. Now left circle, lefty shot, and it goes wide on a one-timer. Grizzlies gathered as Dylan Fitz, a former Solar Bear, will throw it to the right side. Taryn Pfizer chases after it. Chris Harper gets there first. Harper, who's a big guy at 6'3" and 201 pounds, as he plays the puck behind Orlando's net. He'll feed it to the near side as the Solar Bears have good team speed out to neutralize. Utah takes it away. Grizz skate over to the right side. Cameron Wright. He'll skate towards the far goal line now around the net. Wrap around. I tried to find Jamison out in front, and it goes wide. Andrew Nilsson, his first shift of the game, throws it to Jamison. Now up top for Shearer. Back to the left side. Now back over to Shearer. Across to Nilsson. And Orlando pokes out to center ice. Now the Solar Bears have a breakaway. Mismatch skates in. He takes a shot. Saved by Parikh. As Grant Mismatch had a breakaway. He's got 1 goal in 14 games this season. Jamison crosses center ice. He gets hit. Cameron Wright gets it. He'll feed it to Raby on the left side. He tried to get it back to Wright, and it kicked off the skate of Jimmy Mazza, number 77, as Orlando. Max Ballinson, number 8, a defenseman for Orlando, loses the puck behind his net. As Grizzlies skate towards the left side, they get held up. No call on the play as Utah feeds it to the left point. Kyle Pouncey skates towards the goal line, stops, looks to center to Raby. It bounced off his stick and rolls towards Matthew Foguet, number 23. Foguet will cross center ice and dump it in as both teams make a line change. Preet plays it behind his net and gives it to Martin. Martin loses it as Ross Olson goes down as he was hit by Pouncey. It looked like everybody stopped skating when Olson went down. Kyle Pouncey puts his shoulders, kind of shrugs like, what did I do? I wonder if Pouncey's going to get a penalty. It looks like Kyle Pouncey hit Ross Olson a little bit too hard, and he's going to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. We're about 2 minutes into the game, still no score, and Pouncey is in the box. If you or someone you know been charged with a DUI, Rogers and Russell is Utah's DUI defense firm. Consequences for driving under the influence in Utah are serious, and you need great attorneys on your first line. Look for a letter in the mail from Rogers and Russell inviting you to schedule a free consultation. Don't throw away or disregard this letter. Call and get Utah's #1 DUI defense team. Rogers and Russell. Well, he didn't see what the referee's signal was, but Pouncey knocked down Ross Olson and then went to the penalty box as Orlando's power play goes to work 2 minutes in. Orlando feeds it to the right side. It bounced off a Pfizer stick as Orlando did win the faceoff. They'll throw it to the left side as MacArthur, Bennett's his first name, shot saved by Parikh, and he holds on. Good job by Victor Bartley, boxing out Ross Olson, who's a big guy at 6'4" and 220 pounds, as Olson was out in front trying to get a redirection. Good job by Lucas Preek here to start, as he's been busy in the first 2.5 minutes in. It's taking the draw will be Tristan Langen. It's his 4th season with Orlando, and obviously Dylan Fitz knows him well. Jamison will take the draw and rolls towards Connor McDonald as Jamison won the faceoff cleanly as Olson throws to the far corner. Boy, if these camera angles are going to be here for the next 2 days, I'm going to lose whatever hair I've got left As Orlando feeds it to the left circle, Utah takes it away. As Keaton Jamison skates towards his blue line, he gets hit by Olsen and loses the puck. Orlando crosses center ice in the right wing. They'll skate over the line. Brzezinski feeds it to the left side, off the boards to the corner. Olsen, the Orlando captain, throws it up top. Now it goes back to the right side. Orlando with a righty shot. Now they were looking for Olsen out in front, and it got redirected, but Parikh made the save on Olsen's shot, and the Grizzlies cleared it out. 3 minutes in and halfway through Orlando's first power play of the game, still no score. Solar Bears have outshot the Grizzlies so far. They fire a rink-wide pass to Braden Guy. He looks for a pass across and gets poked away. As taking it back is Grant Mismatch. Mismatch throws it to the near goal line. Orlando with a shot that goes wide. That was taken by Drew. As puck goes back to the right side. Now up top is your Solar Bears. Throw it to the far side. About 30 seconds left in the power play. Orlando skates in. Shot and a score. As the pass to the slot connected to Matthew Foguet, he picks up his 9th goal of the season. It's a power play tally. And the Grizzlies' penalty kill struggled as of late. They gave up 2 power play goals on Friday. And Orlando gets a power play goal to take a 1-0 lead. Solar Bears were over on the right side, got the pass to the slot connected with Foguet, got around Martin, and is just fired away. A righty shot over the left shoulder of Lucas Parikh. So the Solar Bears draw first blood here in the series opener as Matthew Foguet gets his 9th of the year. His last name is Foget. His draw is going to be at center ice. Fans in Orlando, looks like an outstanding Sunday afternoon crowd. As the draw is going to be at center ice in the nice Amway Center. Cam Strong will take the face-off against Foguet. Luke Boca over there. As Orlando wins the draw, they're at neutral ice. They'll chip it in. As the Solar Bears 1-for-1 on the power play. As Orlando towards the near side, feeds it back to the corner. As the Solar Bears have outshot the Grizzlies a lot here early. Left point, lefty shot, glove saved by Parikh. Looked like it was taken by Luke McInnes, even though I was told he was going to be a scratch this afternoon. It looks like McInnes is actually in the lineup as Chekovich was battling in front of the net. Maxim Chekovich, who's got 16 points in 26 games. Yeah, I did hear that McInnes was going to take warm-ups, but that he was going to be a scratch. But it looks like Luke McInnes is actually in the Orlando lineup, and he took the last shot from the left point. Luke Boca will take the draw against Cam Strong. Strong of the Grizzlies, but it's won by Utah. Grizzlies out to center ice. Simeone dumps it in. Around the net, Pareda plays it, and he'll feed it over to the far side. Now it goes back to Andrew Nilsson, left point. He'll throw it towards Martel. Goes past him and ricochets off the end boards. Cam Strong fanned on, thrown up top for Aaron Tho. Tho will backpedal to neutral ice to get it. He'll throw it back over to Nilsson. We'll feed it over to Tho as the Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the first period. He'll move it ahead, still in the Grizzlies zone. Dakota Raby will skate out to center ice and make that Simeone as the puck bounced off a Nilsson stick at the Orlando blue line. Martel skates back in, but the Grizzlies are offside with 15:41 left here in the first. We're just underway as Orlando got a power play goal by Foguet, assisted by Jaden Daru and Max Ballinson. Ballinson gets his 4th assist of the season. So far, the Solar Bears have outshot the Grizzlies 4-1. As Pouncey's penalty was a tripping minor, 2:04, and Orlando capitalized on it. Solar Bears win the draw. They'll fire it from center ice to Parikh, who will throw an outlet pass out to Cameron Wright. Wright chases after it, but goes deep in the Orlando zone behind their net. Pareda plays it. Now it goes back to the far side as Orlando will skate from right to left. They'll dish it to the near side. Now they feed it out to center. It's picked off by the Grizz. Jamison and Raby almost collided at neutral ice. Raby chases after it to the far side, spins it around, gets cut off by Luke Harper behind the net. So make that Chris Harper as the Solar Bears out to center ice looking for a pass. They couldn't connect. And McDonald chases deep in the Grizzlies zone as he collides with number 21, Jaden Daru, who got an assist in the first period on that power play goal. Bartley throws it out towards Cameron Wright. Pass didn't connect, and it looks like it's going to be icing on the Grizzlies with 14:53 left in the first. So the draw comes back towards Lucas Parikh, who's won 2 straight starts for the Grizzlies, as his record is now 6-8 on the season. On Wednesday night, Lucas stopped 29 of 32 in a 4-3 victory over Greenville. And on Friday night, the Grizzlies' most recent game, he stopped 27 of 30 for an even .900 save percentage, and that's what he's got through 14 games this year. As Orlando wins the draw, they get it to the right wings. They'll bounce it off the boards. Orlando towards the slot will ricochet it off a Grizzlies skate, and it goes to the near side. As they feed it to Foguet, he lets it go as the Solar Bears get hit by Bartley behind Utah's net. Now it goes back over to the far side for Raby. He'll feed it back to the corner that was vacated. McDonald throws it across to Bartley. Bartley surveys. Now throw it across to McDonald. The Grizzlies captain will clear it out to center ice. It bounced off the stick of Tyler Penner. Chasing after it's Orlando's Max Ballinson, who picked up an assist on that Foguet power play goal. The Solar Bears throw it out, but not all the way out. Is over to the left side. Fits with a shot, and it goes wide. Puck bounces off the near side as Orlando will lift the puck high in the air, goes towards Bryson Martin on the far side. Martin collides with the Solar Bear. Now Orlando takes it. Right wing shot saved by Preek. And they try to throw it behind their back. Does Chechovic, and the Grizzlies take it away. As Penner tried to find Pfizer, bounced off the skate of Chechovic as he gets the puck wearing number 27. Maxime's his first name. He gains center ice and lifts it into the Grizzly zone as it bounces it off the corner on one hop. As Chechovic delivers a shot of Pouncey, who goes down, but he gets back to his feet. And now we get a whistle. Well, you saw Pouncey get a penalty on a similar play, and it looks like Chechovic is going to the box. Tristan Langen will skate towards the referee, and it looks like for the first time tonight, it's going to be a penalty on the Orlando Solar Bears. 13:38 left in the first. Orlando leads 1-0. We're back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maxime Chechovic is in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 2 minutes for tripping. Time of penalty 6:22 into the first period. It's the Grizzlies' first power play of the evening. Orlando has outshot Utah 9-1. As it draws in the right circle, Keaton Jamison will take it. He's got Cam Strong to his right. And Taryn Pfizer, along with Cameron Wright and Andrew Nilsson. Draw one by the Grizzlies. Pfizer throws it up top for Nilsson, right side. Nilsson nudges ahead to Cam Strong. Now back to Pfizer just outside the right circle, but it looks like the whistle blows. And looks like we got a high sticking penalty. And who's it going to be on? Looks like it's going to be on a Grizzly. For Pete's sake, just put the camera on one guy. Pfizer is going to go to the box 2 minutes for high sticking, and that will do it. But it looks like another Solar Bear is going to the box as well. Looks like Jimmy Mazza, number 77, is going to be in the box, and so is Taryn Pfizer. So it looks like we'll skate 4-on-3, I believe. It's not like we ever get to see the full ice to be able to count bodies here, but looks like 4-on-3 is we got Pfizer in the box for Utah and Jimmy Mazza in the box for Orlando. We're skating 5-on-4. Those are coincidental minors, and we'll reset first down and 10. As the Grizzlies win the draw with a 5-on-4 power play. Wright throws it across to Raby. It gets poked away. Now left side, Pfizer shot saved by Pareda. Now right to the left side up top for Nilsson. One-timer saved by Pareda. As the puck rolls towards the near side, Dakota Raby gets it. Raby back to Nilsson. He's just outside the right circle. Nilsson, 23 power play points this season. He's now in the high slot. He switches places with Wright. Nilsson to the left side, tried to get it back up top for Wright. Picked off by Orlando, who throws it towards the far boards. Wright skates over there. He gets tripped up, no call. Harper will lift it over the head of the Grizzlies defensive pairing, and it goes all the way towards Lucas Preek, who will nudge it ahead to Pfizer. Pfizer gains neutral ice, so cross center. He'll skate down the middle and gain the blue line. Over to Wright on the left side, across to Nilsson. Nilsson back to the left side for Pfizer. No, Pfizer's in the box. That's somebody else. As it goes towards the near side, bounces off a Raby stick and rolls towards the end wall. It's behind the net. Right, throws to Martin to Nilsson. Nilsson to the left corner, throws it up top. Now Pfizer gets it. Shot, kick saved by Pareda. Wait, Pfizer's not going to the box. Who was in for Utah? It looks like 12-13 left in the second. Now Grizzlies one-timer and it goes wide. Well, we're actually skating 5-on-3 as Pfizer looked like he was going to the box but didn't actually enter. 5-on-3 skating. The Grizzlies get it across to Raby, who's over on the right side. Raby dancing around. Raby back up top for Nilsson, but he was skating the other way. And goes out to center ice as Nilsson retreats and gets the puck. Nilsson regains the line. 11:50 left in the first. Grizzlies with a 5-on-3 power play. As Utah to the left side, Orlando leads 1-0. Pfizer with the righty shot, and he scores! Taryn Pfizer gets his 14th of the year as he fired it over the right shoulder of Jimmy Pareda. And just like that, this game's tied at 1. Boy, Jamison was out net front trying to redirect it, but Taryn Pfizer with a laser from the left side as he just kind of roofed it over Jimmy Pareda. I think Jamison did a good job as Pareda didn't really respond to it all that well. I think Jamison did a good job taking the vision away from the Orlando goaltender. I think it was a goal that was scored 5-on-3, so the Grizzlies will stay on the power play. This time it will be a short 5-on-4 man advantage. So we're tied at 1 as Taryn Pfizer finds the back of the net for the 14th time this season, which is second on the club. Orlando throws it from center ice, and Preek stops it. Now Langen with the shot, and Preek makes that save as well. As the Grizzlies toward the right side, cross center ice. Jordan Martell gains the line, feeds across. It bounced off a Solar Bear stick, and it goes back to the left side. Grizzlies fire towards the net. Solar Bears block it. And still in the penalty box, Orlando, I think we're now skating 5-on-5 as Martell down the middle will throw a left wing pass to the Grizzlies cross center. Now they gained the line. Skating over is Bryson Martin, but it looked like everybody stopped skating as the Grizzlies were called for offside with 11:08 left in the first. So draw is going to come back to neutral ice. Taryn Pfizer's goal is assisted by Andrew Nelson and Dakota Raby. Time of goal 8:17 in. So Raby picks up his 18th assist of the season. And Andrew Nilsson, his 28th assist of the campaign, that leads the club. And Nilsson now has 18 power play assists on the season and 24 power play points. He's been one of the most dominant power play defensemen in the league. Orlando at center ice, crosses center and dumps it in from the right wing as Simeone holds up his Solar Bears. It's to the far side, Strong in the area. McDonald battles with Foguet, goes back over to Strong, who skates along the far boards. As Strong gains the line, throws to Bartley, who fakes a shot, gets it to Simeone. He'll take a lefty shot. Saved by Pareda. Puck in the crease. Grizzlies with a shot that goes wide. Michalchuk battles as Luke McInnes, who is a questionable defenseman tonight, but he's in the lineup as Orlando dumps it in from center ice. McDonald gets it as Connor back in his own end about halfway through the first period. Will throw it to the far side. Bartley will chip it back to McDonald, who skates towards the far corner. McDonald gets it ahead to Bartley, and Victor will outlet it to center ice. It bounced off a Penner and gets picked off. Orlando skates towards the left side. Lefty shot saved by Parikh. Now to the slot. Orlando backhand shot goes wide. As a puck off the end boards. McDonald gets it. Connor skates towards the near side. No feed it across. Now back to McDonald. Connor will throw it to the left side for Penner. He couldn't reach it. And it looks like it's going to be icing on the Grizzlies exactly halfway through the first period. Orlando scored on a 5-on-4 power play goal. And the Grizzlies responded as Taryn Pfizer picked up a 5-on-3 power play goal. As Foguet scored for Orlando 3:29 in with Drew and Ballinson getting the assist. Taryn Pfizer scored 8:17 in with Nilsson and Raby getting the assists. Orlando has outshot Utah 10-4. Looks like we got the makings of a pretty entertaining game. Grizzlies win the draw. Connor McDonald throws out to center ice where it's regathered by the Solar Bears. Orlando skates towards the right side. Righty shot. Kick saved by Parikh. That's Orlando's 11th shot of the first period as James Shearer gets it. Shearer gets blasted on the boards by number 19, Sean Sedlowski, the old vet. Sedlowski, the 2018 MVP in this league with Fort Wayne. Pfizer, right wing at center ice, dumps it to the left corner, chased down by Orlando. As the Solar Bears, Max Ballinson, a defenseman who's a -2 this year, throws it out to center ice. It goes back to Dylan Fitz. Fitz collides with Jimmy Mazza as towards the far side. Fitz gets it back. He'll fire towards the net, and it goes wide. As it goes back to the right side now. Pfizer with a one-timer. Kick saved by Pareda. Orlando gets the rebound on the far side. They'll throw it out to neutralize. Pfizer gathers it near the logo and dumps it back in. As Fitz skating towards the puck on the far side, he gets spun around by Mazza, and Pareda cleared it out towards the far wing boards. Orlando sails it out to center ice. Now Luke Boca will cross center. Boca doesn't have numbers. He loses the puck as he was trying to gain the offensive line. As it goes back to neutral ice, Orlando gathers it. Solar Bears cross center ice. They feed it across to Tyler Bird, but it's picked off by Raby. Raby back in his own end will do a button curl. Now he'll skate to the right side near center ice. Gets around to Solar Bear. Now he avoids another check. He enters the zone and loses the puck. Orlando clears it all the way out towards Parikh, who watches it go past the goal line as it's icing on the Solar Bears with 8:34 left in the first. It's a fifth of a 6-game road trip for the Grizzlies. Utah will be in Orlando tomorrow evening. 4:45 pregame show, 5 o'clock face-off as the Grizzlies take on the Solar Bears on President's Day. And then Utah will be home for a 3-game set against the Allen Americans. Next home game for the Grizz will be on February 22nd. It's a Bud Light College night with discounted student tickets. Face-off will be at 7:10. Orlando wins the face-off. They throw it out to center ice as the Solar Bears. Over to the right, we'll take a lefty shot. That's Ross Olson. It goes wide as the Grizzlies feed it out to the far side. McDonald chases after it. McDonald gets hit by Olson, gets spun around, but McDonald cleared it out to center. Orlando regathers the puck. They'll back it out into their own zone as they feed it across to Chris Harper. Harper gains center ice and rolls it around the wall. Parikh couldn't cut it off behind his net as the Solar Bears throw it back to the near side as Aaron Tho collided with the boards as he was pushed by Grant Mismash. Tyler Bird battling over with Tho as the Solar Bears. It looks like a stick went flying near the blue line. Hooking's going to be the call with 7:54 left in the first period. Let's see who's going to the box. That's more important. We see some fans instead of seeing who goes to the penalty box. It looks like a very festive crowd over on a Sunday afternoon, a crowd that looks like it's into it. And for a Sunday, it's an outstanding crowd over at Amway Center. We don't know who the penalty's on. We know it's going to be Hooking. But it's important we see these fans in attendance. As we're tied at 1 between the Grizzlies and Solar Bears, it's the first of a 2-game series. The Grizzlies on the road have a record of 12-13-2. Orlando at home's got a record of 12-8-3. It's the 24th home game for the Orlando Solar Bears this season. And once we figure out who's going to the box, whether it's a Grizzly or a Solar Bear, we'll let you know. We're back in 15 seconds on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. We're tied at 1 with 7:54 left in the first.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Orlando's Ross Olson gets 2 minutes for Hooking. Time of penalty, 12:06 into the first period. Olson is Orlando's leading goal scorer with 23 on the year. So the Grizzlies will get their third power play of the evening as they'll call the 5-on-4 and the 5-on-3 power plays, 2 separate man advantages. The Grizzlies are 1 for 2 on the power play so far this afternoon. Draw 1 by Utah. They're in the offensive zone as they throw it back to Andrew Nilsson, who's already got assists tonight. Over to Pfizer, back to the near goal line. Grizzlies back in. Shot saved by Prada. Rebound shot by Pfizer, and he gets knocked down as the shot hits the side of the net. Now in front of the net as Jamison has the puck bounce off his stick. Orlando gathers it. They cross center ice 2-on-3. They'll gain the blue line and dump it in as Nilsson chases after it as he skates around Parikh's net. Nilsson, a former third-round pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs, he'll round center ice, throw it back as the Grizzlies get some momentum as Cameron Wright will throw it to the left side. Grizzlies enter the zone. Back to Wright in the left corner. He'll chip it across to Pfizer. Back over to Wright behind the net, who gets double-teamed. Puck goes to Cam Strong, who feeds it up top to the left side for Nilsson. Andrew throws it to the right circle for Pfizer. Pfizer skates towards the right point, stops and gets it to Jamison, the near side. Jamison around the net, wearing number 12. He'll throw it to the left side for Wright. Back to Jamison. Back to Wright. He'll take a righty shot and it goes wide. As puck glides along the near boards, Pfizer over to Jamison, back to Strong. It goes past him and past Nilsson and out of the zone as it goes towards Utah's end. Parikh well out of his net to the left circle as he gets the puck. 6:40 and counting left in the first. He'll give it over to Bryson Martin as the Grizzlies make a line change ahead to Martell. The Rooster gains the line as he veers off to the left. Back to Fitz. Up top to Bartley. Now Raby, who throws to the right side for Martin. Back to Raby. Raby will switch places with Martin. He'll stop, trying to get it back to Martin. He gets poked away by Orlando, and another Solar Bear gets it and clears it out. 6:18 and counting left in the first. Utah's on the power plays. We're tied at 1. Both teams have a power play tally in the first half of the first period. As out to the right side, Raby crosses center. He'll get around a skater. Raby with outstanding speed skates towards the middle. It gets poked away by Orlando. Shearer over to Martin on the left side. Martin skates towards the left point. Now he gets it back to Martell. Back to Martin, who feigned on a pass to Shearer, but he nudges it ahead to Martell. Martell left circle, takes a shot. Saved by Prida. Rebound hacking out in front is Fitz. Or make that Yeah, it was Dylan Fitz, who was hacking out in front with 5:50 left in the first, but looks like Parade is able to make the save. It looks like there's a timeout. 5:50 left in the first period. We're tied at 1 between the Grizzlies and the Solar Bears. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Tied at 1 between the Grizzlies and Solar Bears. These teams met twice last season over at Amway Center, and both games went to overtime. Orlando took a 1-0 lead, 3:29 in, as Foguet got his 9th of the year. Duro and balanced him with the assists. Grizzlies scored on a power play goal of their own. It was a 5-on-3 power play goal for Utah, as Pfizer got his 14th of the year. Nilsson and Raby with the assists. Utah's 1 for 3 on the power play. Orlando gets the puck 2-on-2. Tyler Bird, left circle shot. Saved by Parikh, as we're back to live action with 5:40 and counting left in the first. Now Luke Boca, left wing, feeds it across. Parikh goes down as he collided with Ross Olson. Puck goes into the Grizzlies zone as we get a whistle as Ross Olson. And now it looks like pushing Olson is McCall. Well, who is it for the Grizzlies? It's Cameron Wright pushing Ross Olson as Olson ran into Lucas Parikh. Actually, it's Connor McDonald. Number 5, the Grizzlies captain's fighting with Ross Olson as Olson is being separated by the 2 linesmen. Olson is on the ice. McDonald is over him, and the 2 linesmen in between McDonald and Olson, the 2 captains. As Olson collided with Lucas Parikh and Connor McDonald, the Grizzlies defenseman took offense and made sure to protect Olson. Ross Olson is 6'4" and 220 pounds. He's one of the biggest Solar Bears. And Connor McDonald, pretty big in his own right at 6'1" and listed at 181. He's probably a little bit bigger and stronger than that, as Ross Olson still wants a piece of Connor McDonald. 5:29 left in the first, as Olson yells at McDonald. As Parikh ended up going down, luckily the puck was going back the other way towards the Orlando zone. As a Solar Bear, did you ever see the movie D2, The Mighty Ducks? You know, that Solar Bear with sunglasses on? That's what Orlando's mascot looks like, except for it doesn't look like he has sunglasses, even though the Orlando logo has the mascot and has the Solar Bear and sunglasses. However, the Orlando Solar Bear mascot today is going without sunglasses. Alex actually got him on now. Shades is his name, and obviously Shades has to have sunglasses on. As the referee today is Rocco Stakoviak. The linesmen are Davids Rosaitis and Logan Berkovitz. It looked like that the Stakoviak was talking with the scores table. As we see it on Flow Sports, the benches are on the near side, as opposed to most arenas in the league where we normally see them on TV on the far side. As Olson's in the box for Orlando, and Connor McDonald is in for the Grizzlies. I'm not sure if anybody's going to get a power play. If Olson's going to get a penalty for running into Lucas Parikh, that would be Olson's second penalty of the first period. It is a penalty on him either way, as he's in the box right now, but I'm not sure either team's going to get a power play out of this situation. So McDonald, the Grizzlies captain, who was really outstanding against Greenville, he's in the box. McDonald's been a perfect team leader for the Grizzlies this season, just a guy who's a good example on and off the ice. Looks like Chekovich is going to the penalty box, and so he's going to represent Ross Olson. So it looks like out of all of this, with 5:29 left in the first, the Grizzlies are going to get another power play. It'll be Utah's 4th power play of the first period. And the Grizz, who are second in the league in penalty minutes per game, are doing a good job staying disciplined and trying to stay out of the box. As the draw is going to be in the Orlando zone. I believe it's in the right circle. As it really is a great crowd over for a Sunday afternoon over in Orlando. Solar Bears are really drawn well this year, and Grizzlies attendance is up about, I'd say, 7 or 8% this season. A lot of teams in the league are really doing a good job drawing fans to the arena. Grizz win the draw. Andrew Nilsson's got 1 assist this afternoon. He'll throw it to Cameron Wright, as Grizzlies with a 5-on-4 power plays Pfizer throws it behind the net. Grizzlies will skate towards the left side. There's Cameron Wright. He'll chip it across to Jamison on the right side. Jamison skates towards the near goal line. Now drifted over to Pfizer. Across to Nilsson, who fakes a shot. Throws it towards the left side for Wright. It goes past him. Jamison back to Wright. Left circle. Take a shot. Anna got redirected and goes wide. It was redirected by a Solar Bear, blocked it. Jamison spins it to the right side for Pfizer. Pfizer back up top for Nilsson. Over to Wright on the left side. Back to Cam Strong. Back to Wright. One-timer. Saved by Pareda. Rebound goes towards the far corner as Harper's in the area for Orlando, but it goes to Strong behind the net as he'll feed it towards the right side. Back to Terran Pfizer. Pfizer will skate back towards the corner now. Get it up top for Nilsson. Across to Wright. One-timer. That one goes wide as it glides along the near boards and out to center ice. Nilsson gathers it as the Solar Bears make a line change. Grizzlies about to do one, make a change of their own. As Nilsson around center ice will throw it back into his own zone. Same five still on the ice for the Grizzlies as we can tell. As now Nilsson will start the attack. He'll throw it to the far side for Wright. Now across to Pfizer, who steps over the blue line, spins it around the boards. Pareda plays behind his net. It goes to the left side for Nilsson, but he couldn't get the bouncing puck. Now Pfizer over to Wright as he drifts over to the far corner. 4 minutes left in the first as Pfizer back to Wright. As Wright surveys, gets it back to Pfizer. Pfizer with a righty shot. Glove save by Pareda. And he holds on. Jimmy Pareda is not a big goaltender, 6'2", 216. He's kind of a bigger goaltender in that respect. He's got an ECHL contract, 26 years old. In fact, he actually just turned 27 on January 29th. So the 27-year-old Pareda has previous experience with Tulsa in this league, and he also spent a little bit of time with the Syracuse club in the AHL. As a draw won by Orlando late in the Grizzlies' power play, as they'll clear it all the way out. Preek to the far side of his net will throw it to Martin, as Grizzlies will restart the attack late in the power play. Up ahead to Dakota Raby. Raby to the right side, gets poked away by Duro. As Raby gets it back, Grizzlies get it across to Martin. He'll take a lefty shot, saved by Pareda. Now Fitz gets the rebound. He'll take a shot, and it goes wide as Fitz looking for revenge against his former team. Martel glides the puck towards the net. Orlando pokes it away. Solar Bears, Harper throws it to Grizzlies territory. Now 2-on-1. Orlando gets it to Duro. I try to feed it across, and blocking the passes, Bryson Martin, who dove on the ice. Great play by Bryson Martin. As puck goes towards the near side, Raby clears it out to center, where it's taken by Martel, the Grizzlies, as both teams make a line change. I think we're back to 5-on-5 skating with 3 minutes left in the first. As Victor Bartley moves it ahead, it bounced off the stick of a Grizzly, or did it? Orlando chases after it, no icing, as the Grizzlies might have gotten a piece of it. Mikalchuk with a big hit on the left side. He'll skate around the net, wrap around, shot, and he scores! Vladislav Mikalchuk gets his third of the year, and the Grizzlies have taken a 2-1 lead. As Mikalchuk had in the left corner, skated around the net. And he found a little bit of room as Pareda, his ankle, his skate was not covering up the post on the near side. And Mikalchuk just kind of stuck it in on the wraparound and scores for Utah. So the Grizz have taken a 2-1 lead as Mikalchuk gets his fourth of the season. As this is his 30th game of the year. As Mikalchuk would just kind of, as we mentioned, just saw a little bit of an opening there on the wraparound as Pareda didn't have the near side post covered up with his ankle. So Mikalchuk just kind of snuck it past him as Utah leads 2-1. Orlando regains the line after winning the faceoff. Right wing, they try to feed it towards the crease, and Preek pokes it back to the near corner. As now Shearer, the side of his net, gets it. So he'll throw it back to the near side for Mikalchuk, who clears it out to center. And Orlando chases after it, no icing. The Grizzlies make a line change with 2:25 left in the first. They lead 2-1. Simeone delivers a hit as Orlando's Jimmy Mazza goes down. And Mikalchuk's goal scored unassisted, 17-11 in, as Orlando gains center ice and dumps it in. Andrew Nilsson towards the boards, gets hit by Orlando. And number 28, Bennett MacArthur, as the puck towards the near side. MacArthur battling. It goes back to Nilsson. We'll feed it to Jamison. Nilsson got blasted along the end wall. He gets back to his feet, but slowly. As Nilsson gets back to his feet, and Orlando skates in. Breakaway shot, saved by Parikh. And that was Tyler Bird that took the shot. Parikh made a nice save. As it goes back over towards the far side. Boca in the area, right point. As Parikh looking for vision. As Orlando will fire it off the end boards. Boca skates around the net, and they'll feed it to the right side. Now they'll drop it back off for the right point. Somebody off the screen now skating in. It's Brzezinski. He'll take a righty shot, and it goes wide as Raby was in the area trying to block it. As Harper skates towards his right. Now I'll feed it back to the right slot, and I'll take a righty shot, and it gets blocked in front of Parikh. As it goes back to Boca, 1:20 left in the first period. Orlando in the offensive zone, right side. Harper chips it back to the left. Righty shot. That goes wide. Now right wing. Orlando shot blocked by Nilsson. And the puck gets cleared out all the way to the Orlando zone. Brodzinski chases after it, and it's going to be icing on the Grizzlies with 1:08 left in the first. Boy, one shot after another as they kept the puck in the offensive zone for about a minute. But the Grizzlies did a good job keeping it a 2-1 game. Mikalchuk's goal, we believe, is unassisted as he scored 17-11 into the first period. We'll recap the first period during the intermission, at least the best we can, as Jamison will take the draw against number 23, Tristan Langen, as draw won by the Grizzlies. Andrew Nilsson skates around his net, and he'll chip it out to center ice, and it looks like it's going to be icing on the Grizzlies again, this time with an even 1 minute left in the first period clock. As Luke McInnes, it was believed that he wasn't going to play today, but he took warm-ups, and it looks like McInnes is actually in the Orlando lineup. He's got 18 assists in 31 games. Draw is going to be in the near circle. Langen and Jamison. This time the draw won by Orlando as they throw it over to the high slot, and now back to the right as the Grizzlies clear it out to center again. Utah crosses center as Raby gains the line 2-on-3. He'll drift it over to the right side. Stop in the corner. He gets knocked down. No penalty on the play as Wright's in the area. Now Raby gets back up. He gets it. He'll skate around the net. I was looking for a shot saved by Parade on the near side as it goes back over to Orlando. Solar Bears will get it out to center ice as they couldn't handle the bouncing puck was number 21, Jaden Daru, who's got an NHL deal with Tampa Bay. As Bartley skates back to neutralize. Good to see Bartley back after missing 4 straight games. Over to the captain, McDonald. Connor throws to the center ice area at right wing for Pfizer. Now across to Bartley, who gains the line. Right wing pass to Penner, who chips it across. It bounced off of Fitz and rolls to Pfizer, who chases after it in the far corner. Grizzlies left point shot, and it's blocked by Sidlowski. 5 seconds left in the period as Orlando gains center ice, and they'll dump it in, and that'll do it for 20 minutes over at Amway Center. As Grizzlies got goals from Taran Pfizer and Vladislav Mikalchuk. Orlando scored first as Matthew Foguet got a power play goal. We'll recap the first 20 minutes of play. When we come back, once again, the score is Utah 2, Orlando 1. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
First intermission over at Amway Center. The Grizzlies lead the Solar Bears 2-1. I'm Tyson Whiting hanging out at Amway Center trying to make sense of everything. As they just go with a different camera angle like every 20 seconds, and sometimes the action is a little bit too difficult to describe at times, but we're just trying to do the best we can and have some fun. It was a high shot count on both teams in the first period. Orlando had 15 shots in the first period. The Grizzlies had 14. Orlando got a power play after Kyle Pouncey got called for a tripping minor, 2:04 in. And Matthew Foguet got his 9th of the year with Jaden Deru and Max Balancing getting the assist. Time of that goal was 3:29 in. So it was the second half of the Orlando power play. The Solar Bears are 1 for 1 on the power play. Utah is 1 for 4. And it's kind of unfortunate to see the penalty kill have a little bit of struggles, as you think about on Wednesday night against Greenville, the Grizzlies penalty kill. I thought did a decent job, but I can't really remember what they did on Wednesday. It looked like the penalty kill for Utah was 0 for 1 against Greenville, so they only had one penalty kill on Wednesday, and they allowed a goal against Savannah. The penalty kill was 1 for 3, and here on Sunday, the penalty kill is 0 for 1. But the Grizzlies got a 5-on-3 power play after Maxime Chekovich got a tripping minor, 6:22 into the first, and then 13 seconds later, Jimmy Mazza got a high sticking minor. So the Grizzlies had an extended 5-on-3, where there was a point there where it looked like Taryn Fizer was also going to the penalty box. And so that confused me for a little bit, thinking that was just going to be a 5-on-4 power play, but it turned out to be a 5-on-3 power play for the Grizzlies, and Utah ended up scoring. It was really late in the 5-on-3. In fact, there was only 5 seconds left in the 5-on-3 before Chekovich was coming out of the penalty box when Taryn Fizer scored his 14th of the year. Andrew Nilsson, Dakota Raby with the assist. It was a one-timer from the left circle, and Nilsson picks up his 28th assist of the season, and it's amazing what he's done on the power plays. That's his 18th power play assist of the year. And for Dakota Raby, he's had a really good road trip. He missed the first 2 games of the trip, came back after missing 5 straight games on Wednesday against Greenville. He had 2 assists against the Swamp Rabbits. I think he had 1 assist on Friday night, and he picks up his 18th assist of the season. As Fizer scored a 5-on-3 power play goal, 8:17 into the first period. And the score stayed 1-1 for quite a while, about 9 minutes, and then Vladislav Mikalchuk was over in the offensive zone. He was in the far corner, kind of skated around the net, and Jimmy Pareda probably thought that he had his ankle pinned to the post, but looked like Mikalchuk saw a little bit of an opening, skated around the net, just kind of wrapped it around and just kind of snuck it past the left ankle of Jimmy Pareda as Mikalchuk got his 4th goal of the season. It was unassisted, time of goal 17-11 into the first. So even though Orlando had 9 of the first 10 shots of the game, there was one point in the first period where Orlando had a 9-1 edge on the shot count. The Grizzlies really responded, and I think a big part of that came to the 5-on-3 power play goal the 5-on-3 power play that the Grizzlies had. They were able to establish a bit of offensive zone time, and it seems like the last 13 minutes or so of the first period, the Grizzlies were able to offensively handle things against Orlando. Taryn Fizer had 4 shots in the first period, including 1 goal. Cameron Wright and Dylan Fitz each had 3 shots. Remember, Fitz is going up against his former team as he played in 129 games with Orlando over the last 3 years. And then 4 of the Grizzlies have just 1 shot on goal in the first period. For Orlando, they took 15 shots in the first. Sean Sidlowski, Chris Harper, and Tyler Bird, as well as Langan and Foguet. There are 5 different Solar Bears that had 2 shots in the first period. Foguet's found the back of the net, and then 5 other Solar Bears with 1 shot in the first period. Quite a bit of action in the league, most of them getting started later today. One game's gone final. It was a game that started last night between Worcester and Norfolk. They played 1 period with Norfolk leading 2-0, and then for whatever reason, both Zambonis decided to break down. Neither Zamboni worked. They couldn't resurface the ice, so they postponed the game and resumed this afternoon, starting with the second period. Now, there's a few former Grizzlies that ended up playing well in the final 2 periods. Former Grizzly defenseman Eric Williams, who was with the club in the 2019-2020 season, he had 4 assists for Norfolk and was the game's #1 star. He was a +2. He had 2 shots. And Eric Williams, who I thought was an outstanding player for the Grizzlies here 3 years ago and looks like he's doing some good things with Norfolk. I mentioned Fitz, who was acquired in a trade with Orlando on March 24th of 2022. Orlando got back Brian Bowen. Bowen played the end of the regular season with Orlando, and then he played one game with the Solar Bears earlier this year. He got released, but it looks like over the past week, Brian Bowen was signed by Norfolk, and he scored a goal in his first game with the Admirals a few days ago. I think it was on Wednesday night, and Bowen picked up a second period goal for Norfolk, and that was 1 minute into the second period. And so Brian Bowen back in the league. It looked like he was out of action for quite a while as he started the season with Orlando and then got released and didn't have a club for about 3 or 4 months before the Norfolk Admirals came calling. Former Grizzly Quinn Ryan scored 2 goals for Worcester in the loss. Remember, Ryan was also let go by the Grizzlies, although it wasn't a trade with Ryan. He was outright released by the Grizzlies in March of 2022, and he's really had an outstanding year for the Railers. He picked up goals 14 and 15 on the season, as he's been one of the Railers' best scorers this season. Norfolk defeated Worcester 7-3, as a few former Grizzlies contributed in that one. First intermission, Atlanta leads Maine 2-1. Also after one period, Adirondack leads Trois-Rivières 2-1. Over at Bon Secours Wellness Arena, two teams the Grizzlies played earlier in the road trip. Savannah leads Greenville 2-1. Savannah struggled on Friday as they lost 6-3 to the Grizzlies, and Greenville lost on Wednesday 4-3 to the Grizzlies. Looks like Corcoran and Premu will have the Savannah goals, and Samaja has the Greenville goal. Looks like former Grizzly Nick Tuzzolino with 1 assist for the Ghost Pirates, as Savannah leads 2-1 over Greenville, even though Greenville outshot Savannah 19-6 in the first period. Other games in action, first intermission, Wheeling leads Iowa 2-0. Also after one period, Jacksonville leads South Carolina 1-0. And a game starting up at 3 o'clock, so about a little more than an hour from now, Kalamazoo is at Fort Wayne. First intermission over in Orlando, and Utah leads 2-1 as Taryn Pfizer picked up a 5-on-3 power play goal, and Vladislav Mikhalchuk scored an even-strength tally, 17-11 into the first. It was the only even-strength goal scored by either team in the first period, and the Grizzlies really have played better 5-on-5 here in the road trip, as the Grizzlies outscored Savannah 6-0 in 5-on-5 situations on Friday, and they even had an edge against Greenville 2-1 in 5-on-5 play. When we come back, we'll give you some scores from around the world of sports, including the NHL, and we'll have second period action over in Orlando's Amway Center as Utah leads 2-1 here after one period of play on the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies hockey. First intermission. Utah leads 2-1 as Taryn Pfizer and Vladislav Mikalchuk have the goals for the Grizz, and Matthew Foguet has scored for Orlando. Is 2 unanswered for the Grizzlies after Orlando scored on the power play about 3.5 minutes in. Well, thinking about the Orlando Solar Bears, it's certainly good memories, as the Grizzlies did beat Orlando 4-0 in the 1996 Turner Cup. That's the one that's over on this side. That's the Turner Cup the Grizzlies won when they're in the old IHL. In the Turner Cup finals, they faced the Orlando Solar Bears and swept them in a 4 games straight in the 7-game series. So those are obviously good memories, seeing the Orlando Solar Bears. These teams met twice last year. Both games went to overtime, and I almost expect a similar type of outcome here this afternoon. It looks like a pretty evenly matched game. And think about the shots. Orlando had 15 and the Grizzlies had 14 in the first period. Both teams are playing good hockey as of late. The Grizzlies are 5-4-1 in their last 10 games, and Orlando is 6-2-2. And it certainly is great to see the Grizzlies play good hockey after really struggling to start the month of February. But it looks like the Grizzlies started to figure some things out. They played well on Wednesday against Greenville, winning 4-3, and then on Friday night coming out to an early 4-0 lead through one period, and then cruising to victory over the Orlando Solar Bears, or over the Savannah Ghost Pirates by a 6-3 score. There are 6 NHL games this afternoon, today. A couple of them are night games. Looks like the Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, they're taking on Edmonton over in Colorado at Ball Arena, and Edmonton leads 1-0. As Fogelli has the Edmonton tally. Connor McDavid is playing for Edmonton. Obviously, the best player in the league. Doesn't look like he has a shot so far or a point, but McDavid obviously will find the back of the net here sometime soon, as he's probably the best player in the league, and there's probably no probably about it. He is the best player in the league. First intermission, Edmonton leads Colorado 1-0. Second intermission, Ottawa leads St. Louis 5-0. Both teams have pretty similar records. Ottawa 26-24-4 on the season. St. Louis is 26-26-3. Ottawa leads that game after 2 periods 2-0. Also after 2 periods, Minnesota leads Nashville 2-1. Later on today at 4 o'clock, Toronto is at Chicago. At 5 o'clock, the Winnipeg Jets are taking on the New Jersey Devils. New Jersey's been outstanding this year with a record of 36-14-5. And at 6:30, Columbus is at Arizona in the 5,000-seat arena at the Arizona State campus. The NBA All-Star Game is downtown. I actually went downtown, braved it yesterday, tried to find some celebrities. I didn't run into anybody that was recognizable enough. Maybe a couple guys who play in the NBA today, but it was what it was. Had a little bit of fun doing that. As the fantasy draft, believe it or not, we're only a few hours away from the All-Star Game being played, but yet we're not sure who Lauri Markkanen's teammates are. Markkanen, the first-year member of the Jazz, who is in the All-Star Game. Is he going to be a teammate of Donovan Mitchell's? Is he not? It's not East versus West. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo against LeBron James. The All-Star Game will be at 6 o'clock over downtown. It's certainly been a festive weekend. I hear it's a pretty good one in terms of the impact on the economy over in the Salt Lake Valley, and it's going to be interesting to see what the All-Star Game looks like. And it's been 30 years since the All-Star Game has been in the Salt Lake Valley, 1993, where Karl Malone and John Stockton were co-MVPs. And we'll see what Lauri Markkanen will do. He'll be in the starting lineup for one of the two teams, either Team Giannis or Team LeBron, as tip-off will be in about 4 hours over at Vivint Arena, which soon will be named the Delta Center once again. That's coming up in July. So when we come back in 1 minute, we'll have second period action over in a warm Amway Center. It's about 80 degrees outside in the Sunshine State, and the Grizzlies have played good hockey as they lead 2-1. Lucas Preek is in net. He stopped 14 of 15 in the first period for the Grizz, and we'll tell you how the second period will turn out as we'll come back in 1 minute and have second period action as Utah leads 2-1 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. This broadcast is presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott, providing premier American copper and proudly celebrating 120 years of operation in the Utah community. As Taryn Pfizer scored the Optum first goal of the game for the Grizzlies, that tied the score up at 1. Optum is putting you at the center of everything we do, as Optum is creating a healthier world, one insight, one connection, and one person at a time. So congratulations to those that picked Taryn Pfizer as the Optum first goal of the game. Don't forget, if the Grizzlies have a successful penalty kill in this game, it will be presented by Utah Disaster Cleanup. UDK is the #1 provider of disaster cleanup services in Utah since 1974. They have been there for customers when they need us the most. That's Utah Disaster Cleanup, the sponsor for the successful penalty kills of Utah Grizzlies hockey. We'll see what happens over in the second period. We'll be skating 5-on-5. The Grizzlies have had 4 power plays, and Orlando has had 1. As Utah is 1 for 4 on the power play, and Orlando is 1 for 1. Looks like an outstanding crowd for a Sunday afternoon over in Orlando, as the Solar Bears are really drawn well. In fact, the Grizzlies are drawn well as well this season as attendance is up. We hope to see a big crowd for all 3 games this upcoming week against the Allen Americans. I imagine it's this week now, if you count the start of the week as being on Sunday, as Grizzlies will take on the Allen Americans on Wednesday night for a Bud Light College night with $8 with discounted student tickets. And don't forget that on Friday, February 24th, it's going to be an AFCU Friday where tickets start at $8 and you pay using your AFCU debit or credit card at the Maverick Center box office. The puck is dropped and Utah wins the faceoff. The Grizz are skating from right to left as we see it on Flow Sports, and your mind's eye see it on YouTube. Grizzlies throw a rink-wide pass to Fitz. He tries to feed the slot, and it bounced off a Solar Bear skate. Fitz gets a back shot, saved by Pareda. Now right wing, McDonald with a shot that goes wide. Pfizer skates towards the corner. He gets it. Pfizer drifts over to Fitz, who feeds to the high slot, and Orlando pokes it away. As the Solar Bears throw it back over to number 21, Duro. Jaden Duro's been really active in this game. Sean Sidlowski throws it back up top, but it's wide to Michael Brodzinski as Orlando feeds it to the far side. Solar Bears skate from our left to our right, 45 seconds into the second period. Outlet pass, does it connect? No, but no icing on the play. As Preet behind his net throws a push of number 43, Ross Olson. So Preet getting some revenge on Olson. I think the referee spotted it. Looks like Lucas Preek's going to get a penalty as he pushed Ross Olson behind the net as Preek was trying to fire the puck towards the far boards. He hit Olson, and I think that Preek's going to get a penalty for doing so. Remember, in the first period, Olson ran into Preek, and then McDonald confronted Olson. And so it looks like the Grizzlies goaltender has picked up a penalty 55 seconds into the second period. It's the Grizzlies 2 and the Solar Bears 1. We're not sure who's going to represent Preek in the penalty box. That's going to be Andrew Nilsson, who's going to be representing Preek in the penalty box. Nilsson's wondering, Nilsson's probably thinking, I go to the box when somebody else commits the penalty. That's just the way things have been. As Lucas Preek talking with the referee, I think the penalty is on Preek, and Andrew Nilsson is in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell representing Preek. It's kind of funny seeing Nilsson there as he leads the club in penalty minutes. And Nelson's probably thinking, I don't even commit the penalty and I go to the box. He's one of those guys that because of his size, he doesn't necessarily get away with playing physical. It seems like he gets called rather tight as opposed to other players. Orlando wins the draw. Left wing shot saved by Preek. Rebound out in front. Grizzlies get it. And Tyler Penner will carry it out of the zone. Penner, right wing, skates towards the circle. Take a righty shot. Saved by Pareda. As puck goes back to center ice. As Sidlowski collides with Jamison. Orlando at their blue line. Brodzinski loses the puck as he rolls it to center. Orlando chips it ahead as Ross Olson gains the line. He's got 23 goals this season. He'll chip it across to Brodzinski, who's one of the best scoring defensemen in the league. Now to the right side. Orlando throws it to someone up top. It's Brodzinski. Back to Olson, the right side. Olson back to Brodzinski as he'll ski towards his left. Shot saved by Preek. Rebound goes out to Utah. Clears it out. About 50 seconds into the power play, we believe it was committed by Lucas Preek as he roughed up Ross Olson. As Orlando throws to the right side, pass connects. As Duro fires it across near the corner. Braden Guy battles in the corner with McDonald. Cameron Wright over there. As the puck's still in the corner now, it squirts out. Orlando gathers it. As Ballinson will feed it over to the right side. Now back to Ballinson. He'll throw it to his left as the Solar Bears skate towards the left circle. Guy throws it up top as the Solar Bears towards the left circle. They try to feed the middle. Pass doesn't connect. Cameron Wright gets it and clears it out. Wright chases after as the puck glides towards the corner, right towards the net. Shot saved by Pareda. As he holds on, 17:34 left in the second. Good effort by Cameron Wright, who not only cleared the puck all the way out towards the Orlando zone, but he chased after it, won the foot race, and took a shot on Jimmy Pareda. As Cameron Wright leads all league rookies in shots on goal, as Ballinson skates towards the bench. 17:34 left in the second. Grizz will have an offensive zone draw. Make sure to follow the Grizzlies on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. I'm on Twitter at Tyson on Sports. As the draw won by Orlando, as the Solar Bears skate from left to right, Brodzinski will skate around his net now, pitch it out to center ice. Pass connects. Orlando skates towards the left circle as Ross Olson. He'll spin it around the wall. As it goes back to the right side. Now Orlando feeds it back to the left. As the Solar Bears towards the left circle, fire towards the net, and it gets poked away by the stick of Utah. As Orlando gets it back, Brodzinski off the near boards late in the power play. As Sidlowski, the former MVP in 2018, right circle, takes a shot. Glove saved by Parikh. And Lucas holds on with 17:03 left in the second. And imagine Nilsson is out of the box now, and we're back to skating 5-on-5 as Parikh committed the penalty 55 seconds into the second period. It was a roughing minor by Lucas Parikh, and he hit Ross Olson, but he hit him more up high, and that's probably as much to do about everything. But, Lucas Parikh, one of the more physical goaltenders, as we saw in his fight against the Allen goaltender on February 4th. As the draw won by Orlando, high slot shot, and it's blocked about 5 feet in front of Parikh. As puck ends up in the corner, Victor Bartley, back after missing 4 straight games, gets it. He's got an A on his sweater. Dylan Fitz doesn't have one today. As Orlando skates it back towards the corner, Simeone cuts it off as he trips up Samikin. Dimitri's his first name. As Orlando back at the Utah blue line, dumps it back in from neutral ice. As Orlando throws to Tyler Bird, shot saved by Parikh as they threw it to Bird out in front of the net. Now ricocheting off the near boards of the puck as Martel spins along as action still in the Grizzly zone as McDonald feeds it out to center. Cut off by McInnes. They'll throw it to the right side as Luke Boca throws it back into Solar Bears territory to Dimitri Samikin, who's a +1 this season. He'll dump it around the boards. Right side is Orlando. And Cam Strong gets held up along the boards as Sidlowski feeds it down the middle. Lefty shot goes wide. That was taken by Ballinson. As Bird skates back towards the right point, he'll feed it back to the corner that he vacated. Sidlowski around the net as he gets challenged by McDonald. As Orlando throws to the far side, Utah picks it off. As they'll cross center, Simeone has a glance off a stick, and it goes back to Orlando. Now to center ice for Bartley. He dumps it in as the Grizzlies make a line change. They looked for Sidlowski at neutral ice, and he couldn't reach it. As the Solar Bears throw it back to Sidlowski on a right wing pass. He's a high-volume shooter. He'll dump it into the zone as it gets poked away by a stick by Giroux. And the Grizzlies throw it back into the Solar Bears zone. Orlando to the right side, crosses center and dumps it in. Raby in the area. Parikh behind his net gets it to Pouncey. As Kyle will throw an outlet pass to center. It bounced off the stick of Wright. As now Orlando gathers it back. Harper throws it to Brodzinski. Grizzlies cut in front of him as Raby, but everybody stopped skating with 15-14 left in the second. It was too far into the zone to say it was an offside, so I'm not sure why the whistle blew. Maybe it's a penalty on the Grizzlies as the whistle blew when Raby touched the puck up as it had a 2-on-2 situation. If they hadn't blown the whistle, Grizzlies could have had a good scoring chance there. 15-14 left in the second as we're just trying to find a way to describe the game the best we can on this remote broadcast. Draws at neutral ice. I imagine Utah was called for offside after all. As Orlando wins the draw, Harper dumps it in. No icing as Parikh plays behind his net. He'll give it over to Bryson Martin, the former third-round pick of Buffalo. So he'll throw it to the near side. Puck went over the stick of Raby as it glides towards the near boards. Harper gets it back. He'll feed it to Brodzinski. Will ricochet off the far boards. Grizzlies gather it again as Pouncey throws it across to Martin. He'll gain center ice as he'll get it to Pouncey, who crosses center and dumps it in. As Pouncey chases after it, Orlando collides with Pouncey. As Harper's in the area, it goes back to the near side as Brodzinski gets it taken away. Grizz skate around the net. Raby gets hit by Harper as the Grizzlies throw it back to the far side. Brodzinski skates over there and gets it. He'll move it ahead to Foguet, who's got Orlando's only goal. He crosses center ice, steps over to the right circle, take a shot, and it goes wide as he trying to go stick side on Parikh. As now at center ice, the puck is well off the screen. It goes deep in the Grizzlies zone. Parikh throws it back to the far side. and all the way deep in the Orlando zone. As Pfizer gets it, he throws it towards the middle as the Grizzlies will drift back to the near boards. They couldn't handle the puck. Orlando back at center ice, and we're getting way too creative with these camera angles. Orlando skates towards the left circle, back to the corner. Sure takes it away, back to Pennery. Couldn't handle it as it glided past his stick. As now to the right point. McInnes with a shot, and that must have gone wide. As the Grizzlies towards the near side, Pfizer feeds it out to center ice, looking for Nilsson. That pass didn't connect, and icing's on the Grizzlies with 13:37 left in the second. So draw's going to come back towards Lucas Parikh, and I apologize if you're listening on YouTube. Bear with me, as they're changing camera angles on me every 5 seconds. Grizzlies looking for their third in a row. They've got a standing point already in 3 straight games, as Parikh's done a good job in net for the Grizzlies. As the draw won by Utah, as they skate from right to left, as Taron Pfizer exits the zone, he'll dump it in. Fitz chasing after it. Fitz collides with Ross Olson as they battle just to the side of Orlando's net. Orlando gets it back as the Solar Bears out to center ice, cross center. Boca dumps it in. Now goes back over. Aaron Tho chases after it. He's behind Utah's net. Connor McDonald throws to the far side as the Grizz chase after it. It goes back into Orlando territory and all the way past the goal line as the arm is raised by the linesman. And icing once again is called on the Grizzlies with 13:09 left in the second. It's going to be a fun 3-game homestand for the Grizzlies. They take on the Allen Americans. We mentioned AFCU Friday is going to be this upcoming Friday, and Bud Light College Night, which is the Grizzlies' next home game on Wednesday. It's also Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend presented by Mountain America Credit, by a Mountain Land Supply Company. Mountain Land Supply Company sponsoring Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend. That's this upcoming Friday and Saturday against the Allen Americans. As the Grizz have the puck after winning the face-off, as Aaron Tho throws it back to McDonald in the near side. McDonald pitches out to center ice for Fitz. Fitz in the left wing fumbled the puck a little bit, and another Grizzly throws it back towards the near side as Aaron Tho throws it out to center, looking for McCallchuck as the puck lifted in the air at neutral ice. And now Fitz at center, dumps it in from the right wing as Harper lifts it over the head of Fitz. Grizzlies throw it back to the near side. Utah crosses center, and Tho chips it in. Orlando chases after it. Harper collides with McCallchuck as along the near side as Orlando clears it out to center. Goes back over to Simeone, who throws it to Martin, who outlets it to the right wing at center ice for McCallchuck, who's got a goal this afternoon. He'll dump it in. Simeone chases after it. Orlando's Brzezinski collides with Simeone as the Solar Bears lifting out the center ice. It goes past Sidlowski and Bryson Martin. Martin chases after it. Icing is on the Solar Bears as 12:07's left in the second period, and draw comes back towards Jimmy Pareda. Well, one of the things that's fun about watching Bryson Martin play is, for a guy that's 6'2", 192 pounds, he's an outstanding skater. He can change directions, go from his left to his right in a hurry. Bryson Martin, one of the best skaters on the Grizzlies club, and he's somebody that at times has played really well. In fact, I think he had an outstanding game against Greenville on Wednesday night. Jamison will take the draw against Tristan Langen. Draw on the far side. Grizzlies get it. Raby swings and misses. Raby gets it back in the right side as he'll bounce it off the far boards. He battles with Langen. Right skates over there. He gets the puck right around the net. I tried to throw a centering pass and hit the side of the net. And now Orlando, 2-on-1. Solar Bears to the left side. They skate towards the left circle. Shot goes wide. And the puck glides towards the near boards. And the Grizzlies out to center ice. Will feed it to the left wing for Jamison. Jamison dumps it in. He avoids a check but loses the puck as McInnes will fling it across the far side, 2-on-2. Orlando over the line. Sidlowski skates down the middle. Centering pass, shot. Parikh makes the save. As they battle in front of the net, now it goes to the corner. As Cameron Wright towards the boards. As now it's to center ice. Orlando gets it. And yes, I think on Flow Sports, I'm watching the same feed everybody else is. Pass to the slot is picked off by Nilsson. Now to the right side, Grizzlies cross center. As they dump it in, a Grizzly goes down. Pareda comes out of his crease as Cameron Wright was battling with McInnes. McInnes knocked down Wright and got dragged a little bit, and the arm is raised by the referee. I think a penalty is going to be called on Orlando. 11:08 left in the second period. Timeout on the ice. We're back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Grizzlies are up 2-1.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
.11:08 left in the second period as Utah leads 2-1. Neither team has scored here so far in the second period. Looks like the Grizz are on a power play as Grant Mismash gets 2 minutes for slashing. Time a penalty, 8:52 into the second period. It's Utah's fifth power play of the game. The Grizz are 1 for 4 so far on the power play. Orlando is 1 for 2 on the power play as it was a successful penalty kill early in the second period presented by Utah Disaster Cleanup. Draw one by Orlando, and they'll try to clear it out. Pfizer kept it in as he took it away from Tyler Burr. As Grizz spin it along the wall, it's to the far side. Pfizer pitches it back to the corner, glanced off the Grizzlies stick, rolls back to the left corner. Orlando gets it, and they clear it out. Nilsson chases after it as he skates in front of Preek. Now he skates down the middle. He'll drop it off to the far side as the Grizz at neutral ice will feed it across. It bounced off the boards. Wright gets it. Wright gets it poked away by Orlando as it goes towards the left corner. Orlando gets it and sails it over the head of everybody. Somehow Grizzlies kept it in. High slot, righty shot and is blocked. Now right to the left circle. Wright throws it up top for Nilsson. It goes past him and out to center ice. Nilsson will glide it towards the far side for Pfizer. Now back to Nilsson. He'll outlet it to somebody off the screen looking for Wright. Puck bounced off a right stick. Now turnover, right, left side, shot. And it goes over the head, or it goes over the bar and out of play. Well, it looked like Parade mishandled the puck a little bit, and Wright had an opportunity from the far side, and he just threw the shot over the crossbar and out of play off the protective netting. 10:13 left in the second. Utah leads 2-1. As the Grizz are still on the power play, as the draw, I believe, is going to be in the Orlando zone. Neither team has scored here so far in the second. The Grizzlies scored 2 unanswered after Foguet scored 3:29 in. Pfizer and Michalchuk with Utah's goals here this afternoon. Orlando wins the faceoff and clears it out. We do not have on the score bug how much time's left on Utah's power play, so we just have to guess that we're about halfway through. The Grizzlies' power plays. Martin throws to the right side, and out at neutral ice, Grizzlies throw it to Shearer on the left wing. Shearer gains the line, but the Grizzlies are offside as they entered before Shearer, and the problem is Shearer had the puck. 9:53 left in the second. As Utah's played pretty good hockey over in the Eastern time zone. They won on Wednesday 4-3 over Greenville and 6-3 over Savannah. Draws at neutral ice near the Grizzlies bench. Taking the face off is Dylan Fitz. He'll be going up against Tristan Langham. Those guys know each other well. And if I were in Orlando, I'd let you know, the story about Dylan Fitz and how many guys he talked with before the game and things like that. Got to be an interesting reunion for Dylan Fitz, who was traded by Orlando to Utah late last season. Raby crosses center ice. He'll throw it to the left side. He gets his own pass. He gets blasted on the boards by Samikin. As Raby gets back to his feet, he gets pushed by Samikin again. Now another Solar Bear gets it, and they spin it along the boards. It goes out to center ice. Grizzlies fired off the boards near their bench, which is on the near side over in Amway Center, as Martel gets it taken away, as Orlando lifts it all the way out towards Lucas Preek. Solar Bears make a line change. Grizzlies do the same. As Utah to the right side will cross center ice. Martel gains the line, stops near the point, and gets hit by Braden Guy. Orlando clears it out again. As Preek behind his net will throw it to the far side. 9 minutes left in the second. Turnover. Orlando skates in. Shot. Saved by Preek. Now goes back over to the right side as MacArthur was the one that took that shot on the turnover. He'll feed it towards the middle. Poked away by Michalchuk. Orlando keeps it in the zone. Out to the left side near the boards as Harper chips it towards the far goal line. Penner gathers it and will bounce it off the boards. Now the Grizzlies. Michalchuk 2-on-3. Throws it across looking for Simeone. Pass went wide of the mark as it rolls towards the far boards. Simeone gets hit. Now left point. Grizzlies trying to get it to Penner. He couldn't handle it. Orlando feeds it to center ice. Solar Bears get it over to Guy. He gets poked away by Bartley. And Utah will feed it ahead, but looks like the Grizz are offside. With 8:18 left in the second period, Utah leads 2-1. Timeout on the ice. We're back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
$8:18 left in the second period. Utah leads 2-1. Neither team has scored so far in the second period. Draws in the Grizzlies zone on the far side. Orlando wins it. High slot, one-timer, and it goes wide. It actually got blocked out in front of Preek, about 10 feet in front of him. As Keaton Jamison to the right side will spin it towards the right. As Grizzlies will clear the zone. It goes into Orlando territory. And the Solar Bears gather it along the near side and right to the left point. Takes a shot and he goes wide. Raby skates towards the far goal line, feeds it across to Jamison. Took a shot and hits the side of the net. As puck rolls towards the slot, and now Utah gets it right over to the right side. Grizz get it back to righties on the left point. He'll take a righty shot on. It gets blocked. Shearer was out in front. He went down. Grizzlies towards the right side. Nilsson at the point. Back to right. As now Raby gets it. His right went down. Right gets back to his feet as Raby gets held up along the far side. Raby across to Shearer. He's in the left. He'll feed it across to Nilsson. He'll skate in. He'll take a lefty shot. And it bounces off of Pareda and flies out of play. As Nilsson looked to the heavens and knew he missed a golden opportunity there, as Utah still leads 2-1 with 7:18 left in the second. So Draw's going to stay in the Orlando zone. And really for the Grizzlies, you think about leading 2-1 after two periods. They are 7-0 when leading after one. And the Grizzlies really have been outstanding protecting leads as they've got a record of 16-1 when leading after two. Orlando did score first tonight, but the Grizzlies did respond with two unanswered later in the first period. That's where we stand now, as neither team has scored here so far in the middle frame. Taking the draws, Keaton Jamison against Luke Boca. Draw won by the Grizzlies. As Victor Bartley to the left side will bounce it to the left circle. Grizzlies still in the offensive zone as Penner gets held up. Now Pfizer, he's in the left side. He surveys. Now left circle, he's all alone. Take a shot, he scores! Taryn Pfizer with a snipe from the left circle as he gets his second of the game, and Utah scored three unanswered as they lead by 2. What a blast by Taryn Pfizer, who just held on to the puck for about 5 seconds, skated towards the circle, got into the circle, and just roofed it over the right shoulder of Jimmy Pareda. So Pfizer gets his second of the game and 15th of the season as Utah leads 3-1. Draw at center ice is won by the Grizzlies. Victor Bartley back into his own zone will feed it ahead. The Grizz are playing good hockey. Dylan Fitz dumps it in as Harper chases after it. He collides with a Grizzly. Fitz in the area. Penner as well. Puck lifts into the air towards the slot. Grizzlies get held up and tripped up. No call by the referee, Rocco Stakoviak, as Penner spins it from one corner to the other. Now Pfizer fires a sharp-angled shot that hits the side of the net. Pfizer's on hat trick watch as he scored 2 tonight. As the Solar Bears back at neutral ice, will feed it to center ice. Penner picks it off. He'll throw it to the right for Fitz. He winds and fires. Saved by Pareda as he made a pad save as Fitz behind the net, trying to kick it out in front. It glanced off the skate of Langen, and it rolls towards the far side. Now right to the right point, takes a shot. Saved by Pareda, and the puck flies out of play with 6:18 left in the second. Draw comes back in the Orlando zone. Fitz and Penner picked up the assists on the Pfizer goal that was scored 12:56 in. So Dylan Fitz gets a point against his former team as he picks up his 10th assist of the year. And Tyler Penner gets his 7th assist of the campaign. It's good to see Pfizer score the 2 goals, but Fitz and Penner really have been 2 consistent stalwarts on the Grizzlies forward line, as both guys have played in all 48 games this season. Orlando has quite a few guys that have played in every game. It's game 52 for them this season. As somehow the puck ended up in the Grizzlies zone after watching some fans watch the game. As over to the left side in the corner, 2-on-2 battle. Preek and net. Puck squirts towards the slot. And now back towards the far corner. As Orlando gets it back to the corner, but Mismatch couldn't handle it. As Preek will glide it towards the near boards. As Pouncey, Martell, another Grizzly hacking away as Mismatch gets pushed along the boards. Cam Strong comes out of it with the puck as it squirts past him. Out to neutral ice where Luke McInnes gets it. McInnes back in his own end. He's a +4 this season. He'll throw it to the far side for Semikin. And Semikin loses the puck and he rolls ahead. Luke Boca, left wing, dumps it in. He gets around Martin as Boca collides with Kyle Pouncey along the far boards. Both guys keep their feet. Grizzlies move it ahead. Cam Strong, right wing, crosses center ice. As Strong collides with McInnes, and it looks like the Grizzlies are offside as the puck ended up exiting the blue zone. Grizzlies threw it back in. 5:19 left in the second as Luke McInnes did a good job protecting his blue line. I think we got a timeout on the ice. We're back in 1 minute. Utah leads 3-1 as Taryn Pfizer now has 2 goals tonight on the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott. It's the Grizzlies 3 and the Solar Bears 1 as Utah scored 3 unanswered after Orlando scored a power play goal 3:29 into the contest. Taryn Pfizer's got 2 goals for Utah. Tyler Penner and Victor Bartley are each a +2 for the Grizz. As neutral zone draw won by the Grizzlies who dump it in. Orlando skating from left to right as they get it poked away at their blue line. And it looks like play is stopped as the puck was near the blue line. I think entered and then exited and then whatever. An offside is on the Grizzlies with 5:09 left in the second. So the draw's coming back to neutral ice as Jimmy Mazza out there for Orlando. He's 6'2", 195 pounds. Orlando's got one of the bigger teams in the league from what we've seen. First of a 2-game set. Both teams will meet tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock. Jamison will take the draw, but it's won by Luke Boca in Orlando as the Solar Bears carry it over the line. As the Solar Bears throw it back to the high slot. Now right side guy was fanned on it. Now Boca with a shot as it goes wide as Boca was out in front of the net. As Orlando back to the left side, skates towards their right. Now it's the right circle for Guy. Braden's his first name. Up top as Mazza tried to dump it off the end wall, and Raby picks it off. Now Mazza throws it around the net. There's Orlando. Throws it back to the left side. Solar Bears get around the net once again as Chekovich throws it to the left point. Now lefty shot saved by Preek. That was taken by Max Ballinson from the left point. Luke Boca has a poke out to center ice. Orlando regathers it. This is Mazza. Throws it over to the left side at center ice. Solar Bears dump it in. Preek cuts it off behind his net. He'll throw it to Nilsson on the far side. Back to Schur. Skates around Preek's net. Schur feeds a left wing pass to Raby, but it goes past him. Orlando moves it to center ice. Now they gain the line 3-on-4. Solar Bears to the left side, chip it down the middle. Schur picks it off, throws it out, and it goes to center ice as Orlando couldn't handle the bouncing puck at the blue line. As Orlando gets spun around as Langen by Pfizer. No call either way as Orlando gathers the puck. They're at center ice, and they'll drive it around the boards. It spins to the near side as the Solar Bears back around near side. They feed it to Pfizer on the right. They'll throw it to center ice for Pfizer. Pfizer from Fitz. As Pfizer just outside the Orlando blue line dumps it in. Both teams make a line change. 3:30 left in the second and counting. Utah leads 3-1. As Orlando out to center ice. Penner pokes it away. It rolls back to an Orlando defenseman. As the Solar Bears, Matthew Foguet will feed it to Brodzinski. He's in the near side, still in the Solar Bears zone. As Brodzinski will skate towards his left. He's still in the Orlando zone. Now throw right wing pass out to center ice looking for Jaden Daru. And Daru looks like he's been one of Orlando's best players. It rolls back to the left side as McInnes throws it back to the corner. Orlando looks to center. It goes past him out to the right side. As the Solar Bears skate towards the right circle. Orlando skates in, backhand shot. Saved by Parikh. That was taken by Dmitry Semikin. As over to the right side, Orlando lefty shot and it goes wide. That was taken by Boca, I think, or make that mismatch. Grizzlies are at the center ice. Pfizer gets it. He gains the line, stops in the left point, throws it across to Fitz. He'll take a shot on it, gets blocked. Fitz gets the puck back on the right side. He spins it around for Pfizer, but Pfizer didn't skate towards the corner with it. As Luke McInnes will throw it behind Orlando's net. Grizzlies retreat defensively. 2.5 minutes left in the second period as Utah leads 3-1. As Parikh behind his net as Orlando dumped it in. Martin behind as he's got Strong cutting to his left. Martin feeds Strong, who's got great speed. Strong crosses center ice now. He flies into the left circle. He'll take a lefty shot. Saved by Pareda. And he holds on with 2:09 left in the second. But what speed by Cam Strong, who got a pass from Bryson Martin in the Grizzlies zone. He just flew from one end of the ice to the other along the left wing and got himself a good look in the left circle. And you're thinking about, who would win a foot race and who's the fastest player on the Grizzlies team. I know Dakota Raby's got outstanding speed. A couple of the Grizzlies defensemen can really fly, but my money might be on Cam Strong. Just kind of straight line speed. He might be the fastest on the club. Orlando wins the draw. They'll spin it along the far wing boards. It goes past Kyle Pouncey deep in the Grizzlies zone. No icing as Pouncey skates towards the right side. Now move it ahead as the Grizzlies dishing out to center. Simeone chasing after it, but it's taken by Max Ballinson. He'll feed a left wing pass. It didn't connect. Grizzlies want icing, but it gets waved off. Pouncey throws it to the right side for Simeone, who feeds it across, picked off by the Solar Bears, who I guess kept it in the offensive zone. Utah moves out to center. Simeone skates over there. He falls down. Now the Grizzlies enter the zone, but everybody stopped skating, so it looks like the Grizzlies are offside with 1:35 left in the second. So we're going to have a neutral zone draw. I'm really looking forward to this 3-game series against the Allen Americans coming up. But remember, the Grizzlies do have one more game in Orlando, and that's going to be tomorrow night. 5 o'clock will be the start. 4:45 pregame coverage in the Mountain Time Zone. Remember, with the Allen Americans series, Wednesday night is going to be a Bud Light College night with discounted student tickets. Friday is going to be an AFCU Friday, and Friday and Saturday are Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend presented by Mountain Land Supply Company. Grizzlies skate down the middle, right with a shot, saved by Pareda. And it looks like the puck bounced away, and it ended up past the goal line. Wright took a shot. It bounced off the glass, and then Wright ended up scoring. Grizzlies scored to make it a 4-1 game. As Cameron Wright just took a shot from the slot, bounced off the glass, ended up with Wright, who about chest high was able to, like a baseball bat, bat it into the back of the net. So Cameron Wright gets his team leading 18th goal of the season, and Utah leads 4-1. So the Grizz have scored 4 unanswered after Orlando scored 3:29 into the contest. And Cameron Wright now has 6 goals in his last 4 games. So it's the Grizzlies 4 and the Solar Bears 1. As Utah gets it, Raby will throw it across to Nilsson. Boy, we didn't see any celebration or anything like that. We just saw the referee point to the goal line, and that's the only way we knew that Utah had scored. Behind Utah's net, Andrew Nilsson falls down. He feeds it over towards Shearer, couldn't handle it. Now, right point, the Solar Bears will throw it back around behind Utah's net. As Nilsson cuts him off, Jamison in the corner hits Harper. As left side, Solar Bears feed the middle, but it bounced off his stick. Solar Bears have to retreat and get it. Brodzinski throws to the right corner. Utah battles and takes the puck away. They get to Pfizer. Good job by Andrew Nilsson winning a one-on-one battle. As out to center ice, Grizzlies dump it in. 42 seconds left in the second as Orlando skates from left to right. As Cameron Wright picked up his 18th of the year just recently. Solar Bears out to center ice, cross center, and dump it in. As Parikh stays in net, as Victor Bartley skates towards the right corner, he gets hit by number 27, Maxime Chekovich. As it goes out to center ice, McDonald in the area, and gliding over there is Dylan Fitz. Orlando throws it back into their own zone. 17 seconds left in the second as the Grizz are playing good hockey, or as Grisby would say on Twitter, The Grizzlies are playing Utah Grizzlies hockey. That's exactly what they're doing here is they're playing their style of game as skating over to the left side. Fitz will take a backhand shot that goes wide. Puck glides towards the near boards. 2 seconds left, and that will do it for 40 minutes of play and 2 periods over at Amway Center as the only goal was scored by Cameron Wright, who bounced the puck off the end glass, and then the puck was in the air, and then Cameron Wright, just like a baseball bat, just kind of batted it into the back of the net about chest high. James Shearer and Andrew Nelson picked up the assist on the right goal, and for Andrew Nelson, that's his second assist of the game and his 11th multiple-point game of the season. So Utah leads 4-1 as they score 2 goals in each of the 2 periods, Pfizer and Wright in the second period, and Pfizer and Michalchuk in the first. Both teams have taken 25 shots, but it's the Grizzlies that have a 4-1 lead heading into the second intermission locker room. When we come back in 2 minutes, we will recap the first 2 periods of play. It's Utah 4 and Orlando 1. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Second intermission over at Amway Center. Utah leads Orlando 4-1. Solar Bears scored first, 3:29 into the first period as Matthew Foguet picked up a power play goal with Jaden DeRue and Max Ballinson getting the assists. Orlando is 1 for 2 on the power play, and they drew first blood. 3:29 into the contest. Grizzlies got a 5-on-3 power play after Jimmy Mazza got a high sticking minor, whereas actually the first penalty was Maxim Chekovich getting a tripping minor, 6:22, and then Mazza 13 seconds later got a high sticking minor. That gave Utah a 5-on-3 power play for just about 2 minutes. And with 5 seconds left in the 5-on-3, Tyron Pfizer found the back of the net as he scored from the left side. It's his 14th of the year and first of 2 of the game. And Andrew Nelson, Dakota Raby picked up the assist. Time of that goal, 8:17 into the first period. Vladislav Michalchuk made it a 2-1 game as he was over in the far corner, skated around the net, and just with a wraparound, just kind of snuck it past Jimmy Paredes' left ankle and past the goal line as Michalchuk got his 4th of the season. It's unassisted, 17-11 into the first period. Utah led 2-1 after 1 period. The Grizz are 7-1 this season, or 7-0 this season when leading after 1 period. Orlando outshot Utah 15-14 in the first period. It stayed a 2-1 game for the first 12 minutes of the second frame. Then Tyron Pfizer found the back of the net for a second of the game and 15th of the season as he scored from the left circle as he fired it over Jimmy Paredes' right shoulder Dylan Fitz and Tyler Penner picked up the assists. Remember, Fitz played in 129 games with Orlando over the last 3 years, and Tyler Penner gets his 7th assist of the season. Later on in the second, Cameron Wright had it in the slot. He took a shot that bounced off the glass, and then Wright skated towards the net and was able to get the rebound off the glass. The puck flew high into the air and just about chest high, just kind of batted it into the back of the net. So Wright picking up his team-leading 18th goal of the season. James Shearer got his 9th assist of the campaign, and Andrew Nilsson with his 2nd assist of the evening. And for Nilsson, it's his 11th multiple-point game this season. The 11 multiple-point games lead the club. Cameron Wright is 2nd on the club in multiple-point games with 9 on the season. Taryn Fizer picked up his 6th multiple-point game this year. He's already got 2 goals. Nilsson's got 2 assists. And then, the Grizzlies, in terms of plus-minus, have a few good players as Penner, Bartley, and Nilsson are each a +2 for the Grizz. And good to see Victor Bartley back after missing 4 straight games. And congratulations to the Bartley family. I don't know any details, but I believe they picked up a new addition to their family recently. I think Victor Bartley's wife had a baby. And so congratulations to the Bartley family. And Victor was able to make it in time to play this game over in Orlando. And Victor Bartley has looked good. He's made a physical presence and is a +2 for the Grizzlies this afternoon. And really, it's good to see. The Grizzlies play good hockey after really struggling in the first 5 games of February. The Grizzlies really found their way. I think it was big in Rapid City. They played well that night, the last game in Rapid City on February 11th. And even though the Grizzlies didn't win the game, they did get a standing point. And obviously, standing point in hockey does mean something. It's almost like if you go 0-72 through the regular season, you end up with a 500-point percentage. You end up with a 500 record by not even winning a single game, just by forcing overtime and losing every game. It's kind of extreme, obviously, but the Grizzlies did get something out of that game in Rapid City, and I think they gained a little bit of confidence and a little bit of momentum. Something kind of clicked over there in the Rapid City game, especially in the third period, and the Grizzlies carried it over. They played a really good game on Wednesday, winning 4-3 against Greenville. And remember, Dylan Fitz was outstanding in that game, and Cameron Wright had 2 goals, and Cam Strong had 1 goal and 1 assist. And Cam Strong played well on Friday, and Cameron Wright played well as well, scoring 2 more goals on Friday. And Cameron Wright finding the back of the net once again this evening over in Orlando late in the second period. So the Grizz are playing outstanding hockey. If you want to nitpick, the Grizzlies' penalty kill has struggled a little bit. They're just 1 for 2 on the penalty kill. But early in the second period, 55 seconds in, Lucas Preet got a roughing minor, and he was represented in the penalty box by Andrew Nilsson, which is certainly funny. It's like Nilsson leads the club in penalty minutes, and then he even goes to the box. When he's not the one that committed the penalty. And so that was a little bit funny, but, it was a successful penalty kill, and successful penalty kills are presented by Utah Disaster Cleanup. UDK is the #1 provider of disaster cleanup services in Utah since 1974. We've been there for customers when they need us the most. That's Utah Disaster Cleanup. When we come back to the intermission report, we'll go over some scores from around the world of sports, and we'll also preview the upcoming homestand as the Grizzlies will take on the Allen Americans this upcoming Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. But remember, the Grizzlies do play tomorrow over in Orlando to complete the road trip. Utah is 2-1-1 on the current road swing. They've got a 4-1 lead after 2 periods. And remember, Monday night's going to be an interesting one. It'll be the second game of 2 straight against the Orlando Solar Bears over at Amway Center. Coverage begins at 4:45, face-off about 5:05 in the Mountain Time Zone. We'll talk some hockey when we come back as Utah leads 4-1 here in the second intermission, as this is Utah Grizzlies hockey presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies hockey. Second intermission. Utah leads 4-1 as they've scored 4 unanswered on Jimmy Pareda, the Orlando goaltender. I'm trying hard not to have a nuclear meltdown here on the air. As you think about it, you know, you're watching the remote feed, and for some reason, Orlando has just gotten way too creative with their camera angles. They change the camera angle on me like every 7 seconds. So it's like, all right, you're getting used to what you're saying. Oh, wait a minute. We're just going to change things up. And so I apologize for those that are viewing the game on YouTube alone, because unfortunately, it's been a little bit tough to follow, but hey, we're just trying to do the best we can with what we're given. Second intermission, well, some games have gone final. Obviously, second intermission over at Amway Center. Also, after 2 periods, Atlanta leads Maine 3-2. One game has gone final in the league as Norfolk defeated Worcester 7-3. Former Grizzly Eric Williams had 4 assists for Norfolk in the victory. Former Grizzly Brian Bowen, I was going to mention his name earlier today anyway, because he was the one that was traded to Orlando for Dylan Fitz, and Fitz obviously returning to Orlando for the first time since the trade. Bowen now has 2 goals in his 3 games with the Norfolk Admirals, who are led by former Grizzlies assistant coach Jeff Carr, who's the head coach over at Norfolk, as they get their 12th win of the season. They defeat Worcester 7-3. Former Grizzly forward Quinn Ryan had 2 goals for Worcester in the loss. Also after 2 periods, Trois Rivières leads Adirondack 3-2. 13 minutes left in the second period. Savannah leads Greenville 2-1. Neither team has scored here so far in the second period. Second intermission, Wheeling leads Iowa 4-2. Wheeling's been about a 500 team this season. Iowa has 12 victories on the year, and they've got 25 losses. It's really been a struggle for the Iowa Heartlanders, who are in last place in their division. Second intermission, Jacksonville leads South Carolina 1-0, and getting underway in about 13 minutes from now, Kalamazoo is at Fort Wayne. There's 6 games in the NHL. Let's see if we can get an update on the Avalanche game. And it looks like Edmonton leads Colorado 4-2. That game after 2 periods. Remember, the Grizzlies' NHL affiliate is the Colorado Avalanche. They battled some injuries, and as a result, the Grizzlies have lost some players as well. Connor McDavid has no points and is a -2 for Edmonton this afternoon, but other Oilers have really stepped up. Leon Draisaitl has 1 goal. Fogelli has 2 goals for Edmonton, and they lead Colorado 4-2 that game in the second intermission. Other action in the NHL, games are in progress. Actually, it looks like the Avalanche game is the only one going on right now in the NHL. Two games have gone final. Ottawa defeated St. Louis 7-2, and Minnesota over Nashville 4-3. Starting at 4 o'clock, Toronto is at Chicago. At 5 o'clock, Winnipeg is at the New Jersey Devils, and at 6:30, Columbus is at the Arizona Coyotes. The NBA All-Star Game will be downtown over at Vivint Arena, soon to be known as Delta Center again. Team Giannis taking on Team LeBron. And we don't know who's going to be playing for any other team, for either team, because they're doing a kind of pickup game type of draft before the contest. You know, the NHL, they've done that before in the NBA, where they'll pick the teams like 3 or 4 days in advance. Well, they're deciding to do it like 2 hours in advance this year. Should be fun, though, simply because the All-Star Game is in the Salt Lake Valley. And I send my condolences to anybody who tried to go downtown this weekend. I did so. I had a little bit of fun. It wasn't too busy. It was crazy downtown, but it wasn't so busy that, you know, it was just completely slammed, I guess, depending on where you are. I was trying to find some celebrities yesterday. I didn't really succeed. I probably succeeded more Thursday because I went to the NBA on TNT, a studio show that was over at the complex, and had a little bit of fun, watched Wiz Khalifa perform, and saw Charles Barkley and Shaq and Kenny Smith and Ernie Johnson. And Shaq is about the biggest human being you'll ever see. 7'1". It'd be amazing to see if we can put him on a pair of skates. I don't know if there's any skates that could fit his feet. He's probably got a size 20 or 22 shoe. But it's fun to see those guys on Thursday. And it was a fun weekend. After all, it looks like it's going to be good for the economy. And if nothing else, after Sunday's game, it's going to be a little bit less busy downtown. Although I would probably advise people not to go to the airport tomorrow if you can avoid it, as I imagine airport traffic getting to and from the Salt Lake Valley tomorrow on President's Day is just going to be an absolute disaster. Hopefully the third period will be good for the Grizzlies. Utah is 16-1 when leading after 2 periods, and they've got a 4-1 lead. Utah's just going to have to find a way to chip away early in the third and make sure they don't let Orlando get back in the game. As the Grizzlies scored 4 unanswered, Lucas Preek has been solid in net, and the Grizzlies really, over the last 4 games, have got an amazing contribution from Cameron Wright, who got off to a slow start in the month of February. Wright's got 6 goals in his last 4 games, with this being the 4th game. He had 1 goal and 1 assist against Rapid City on February 11th, and he scored 2 goals in each of the first 2 games this week. Wednesday night against Greenville, and a 4-3 win, and 6-3 over Savannah. He had 2 goals that night as well. So Cameron Wright's been amazing for the Grizzlies, and Taryn Fizer's really picked it up, as he's already got 2 goals for the Grizzlies here this afternoon. It's Utah 4, Orlando 1, and when we come back in 1 minute, we'll have third period action over at Amway Center. It looks like an outstanding crowd for a Sunday afternoon, as Utah's up by 3, and we'll have third period action in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Expectations here will always remain high, and we'll continue to find a way.
Guys put together a lot of good games, you know.
I'll see if the Grizzlies can bring home a victory, as they've won 2 in a row, and they look to make it 3 in a row. They lead 4-1 heading into the third period. Taryn Fizer has 2 goals on 6 shots. The 6 shots lead the Grizzlies. Dylan Fitz and Cameron Wright each have 5 shots. Fitz has 1 assist in his first game back in Orlando after being traded in March of 2022, and Cameron Wright 1 goal is a +1. He also has 5 shots. Tyler Penner, Victor Bartley, and Andrew Nilsson are each a +2, and Lucas Preek's been outstanding, stopping 24 of 25. Grizzlies in the white jerseys will be skating from our left to our right as we see it on Flow Sports. In your mind's eye, see it on YouTube. As Penner will take the draw against Luke Boca. As face off at center ice, and it's won by the Grizzlies, as Fizer will throw it back to Bartley and make that Aaron Tho, who will throw it to center ice. Penner in the area as Fitz dumps it in from center ice, but it looked like he hadn't reached center ice before dumping it in, so icing's on the Grizzlies 11 seconds into the third period. Utah trying to go to the 500 mark on the road this season. They're 12-13-2 on the road, and so a victory would get their winning percentage at 500 on the road. And for the Grizzlies, obviously they want to inch a little bit closer to that 4th playoff spot. The Grizzlies with 44 standings points, and with a victory can climb over Rapid City for 5th place in the Mountain Division. Well, somebody took a shot, and Preek made the save as 3 seconds after the icing call, Preek covers up. Utah still leads 4-1. As Victor Bartley talking things over with Pfizer, and it's good to see the experience of Bartley return as obviously being a smart hockey player, and he really has been a great leader and really has been a great example for the Grizzlies this season. Bartley's played in 121 NHL games, most of them coming with the Nashville Predators. Pfizer will take the draw. He looks towards Fitz for a little bit of counsel. As a draw won by Orlando, shot saved by Parikh. And Lucas holds on as the shot was taken from the left wing after Orlando won the face-off, and Parikh holds on with 19:42 left in the third. Watch out for Ross Olson, number 43. He's got 23 goals for Orlando this season. He's really a big physical presence at 6'4" and 220 pounds. He used to play with the Worcester Railers. As a draw back in the right circle. Fans not looking like they're having a good time over in Orlando because the scoreboard is on the visiting team's side. Orlando wins the draw as they spin it behind Utah's net. Olsen chips it back to the right corner. Utah glides it ahead. Tyler Bird will feed it across as Orlando around the net. They skate towards the far side. They'll throw it back to the right. Shot. Kick saved by Parikh. Rebound goes out to the near side. Grizzlies clear it out to center. Orlando regathers the puck as Tyler Bird will throw it back to a defenseman who backpedals into his own zone. And it's Chris Harper, who spells his last name Harpur. Grizzlies carry it back in. Cameron Wright gets hit by Harper. Now goes back to Orlando. Throws a left wing pass out to center ice for Sean Sedlowski. The longtime Fort Wayne Comet dumps it in. Shearer collides with Olsen. Olsen wearing the C for Orlando. As the puck glides towards the far circle, Jamison gets it. Rink-wide pass off the far boards, goes back to Orlando. Jimmy Mazza moves it out to center as the Solar Bears gain the line, and the puck is in play. Left side, shot, saved by Parikh. As that was taken by Jaden Drew, I should have said that the Solar Bears were offside. They were pretty close to being offside, but they let the play go. Drew took a shot from the left side. Parikh made the save, and he holds on with 18:48 left in the third. So draw is going to stay in the Grizzlies zone. Is Orlando doing what they can to try to climb back into this game? And for the Grizzlies, you just have to keep chipping away one shift at a time and see if they can come away and pick up a victory here, as Orlando is going to put together a good effort to try to get back in this game. Grizzlies win the draw. I think Orlando won the draw, then the Grizzlies got it as they clear it out. Martell skates in, no icing as he collides with Mazza behind Orlando's net. Solar Bears feed it towards the near side as Orlando carries it out to center ice. Solar Bears throw it to the slot. Now they get it back to the right side. Righty shot. And it goes wide. Sedlowski gets it. He's being challenged by Martell. Martell goes down. Sedlowski will bounce it towards the goal line as Langen goes down. Pouncey tripped him up, and it's going to be a penalty on the Grizzlies. As Tristan Langen was battling with Kyle Pouncey behind the Grizzlies net, and Langen went down. Pouncey can't believe it, but he's going to get his second penalty of the contest. As Langen gets back to his feet, the referee was over in the corner, saw the play, and he gave Kyle Pouncey a tripping penalty as we have 18:14 left in the third. If you or someone you've been known been charged with a DUI, Rogers and Russell is Utah's DUI defense firm. Consequences for driving under the influence in Utah are serious, and you need great attorneys on your first line. Look for a letter in the mail from Rogers and Russell inviting you to schedule a free consultation. Don't throw away or disregard this letter. Call and get Utah's best DUI defense team. Rogers and Russell. Kyle Pouncey's in the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 2 minutes for tripping. As McDonald delivers a hit on the near side, Jamison gets it and clears it out. 2 minutes into the third period, Utah leads 4-1. It's Michael Brzezinski, one of the best scoring defensemen in the league. He has 6 goals and 33 assists in 51 games. Brzezinski feeds a right wing pass. Solar Bears connect as they're looking for a cutting Tristan Langen, and he gets poked away. Solar Bears in the offensive zone over towards the left side as Bennett MacArthur feeds it back to the right. Now it goes back to Solar Bears behind the net. They're looking for MacArthur in the left circle. It kicked off a Grizzly stick. MacArthur gets it back, though. Left point. Left side, trying to feed it to the point. Utah picks it off and clears it out as they're looking for Brzezinski up top, and the Grizzlies anticipated it. Outlet pass out to center connects. Ross Olson skates over the line. He's onside. He tries to center to bounce off a skate, and it goes back to the right side as Orlando gets pushed out to neutral ice, and they'll reset. About halfway through the Orlando power play, and 17:08 and counting left in the third. Utah leads 4-1. Solar Bears cross center ice. Now they gain the line. Mismatch skates towards his left, and the puck exits the zone. Pfizer chases after it. He gets it. Pfizer drops off to the slot. Now to the left side, back towards Pfizer. Orlando kicked it away. As Grizzlies might have overpassed there. Orlando back to center ice. They cross center and drive it in late in their power plays. It spins back towards James Shearer, who challenges Orlando. Now slot, lefty shot, and it's blocked in front of Preek, taken by Ballinson. Now to the left side. Pfizer fanned on clearing it out. Guy gets hit as he was hit in the corner by Shearer as it goes back to the left side as Grizzlies gather it and clear it out. Both teams make a line change. 16-20 is left in the third period. Utah leads 4-1. As Luke McInnes will throw it out to the left side. Pass connects to Tyler Bird. Bird skates towards his right. They'll throw it off the Utah line. Now it goes back to Orlando, who skates down the middle. They feed it to the right side. Tho dives, and the puck glides towards Preek, who covers up. As Cam Strong pushes down Braden Guy, and it looks like Andrew Nelson getting physical with Chechevich out in front of the net. The net gets dislodged as Nilsson pushed Chechevich into the net. As there's 16:06 left in the third. We'll see if Andrew Nilsson gets a penalty or if Chechevich gets a penalty. Chechevich, wearing number 27. He's a native of Slovakia. He's only 22 years old, a former third-round pick in 2019 by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Chechevich gets his helmet back as it was laying on the top of the net. Doesn't look like he's going to get a penalty. We'll see if Utah gets one. As it's late in Utah's power play, as Kyle Pouncey in the box, 2 minutes for tripping. Traw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. Orlando really putting a lot of pressure on the Grizzlies here in the first 4 minutes of the third period to try to climb back in the game, but Preek and company have done a good job. And the Grizzlies defensive unit looks like they're doing a really good job protecting the crease, not letting Orlando get in there to get any of those rebounds and second looks. Orlando's one of the biggest teams in the league, so the Grizzlies really doing a good job playing physical and yet staying out of the box for the most part. Grizzlies won the draw. We're back to skating 5-on-5. Christian Simeone flies the puck high in the air as it bounces in the Solar Bears zone. Orlando skating from right to left as Orlando will skate towards neutral ice. Left wing pass to McInnes. McInnes hits Nilsson up top. No penalty on the play as Aaron Tho over in the left corner battles with Bird. Luke Boca over there as well. Cam Strong delivers a hit on Bird as Nilsson around Utah's net will feed it to the far side for Simeone. He'll drift it back to Nilsson. Andrew glides it across to Aaron Tho. Will tap it off the near boards. Tho gets hit by Chechevich. As Chechevich battles with Michalchuk near Utah's bench, which is on the near side as we see it. Most of the time, it's on the far side here on the screen. As Orlando gathers the puck, they're at neutral ice. They cross center with good speed. Giroux, who looks like an impressive hockey player. Giroux over on the far side, centers it, but the centering pass didn't connect. Tyler Penner clears it out. Looks like it's going to be icing on the Grizzlies as the whistle blows with 15 minutes and 5 seconds left in the third. So we'll go back towards the Grizzlies zone. Utah did a good job on the penalty kill. It's a Utah disaster cleanup, successful penalty kill. UDK is the #1 provider of disaster cleanup services in Utah since 1974. Utah Disaster Cleanup has been there for customers when they need them the most. Penner will take the draw, but this time it's won by Orlando. Over in the high slot, they feed it to the right side and couldn't connect on a pass as McDonald in the area. It's over to the right side. Orlando spins along the boards. Tristan Langen, his 4th year with Orlando, drops off for Brodzinski. Left side, Brodzinski skates in, take a shot. And it goes wide as he tried to go top shelf on Preek. As the Grizzlies will lift it in the air. It bounces at center ice and rolls into the Solar Bears zone. Fitz chases after it. He couldn't handle it as he had Langen battling. Fitz will kick it over towards Langen, who skates around his net. As the Solar Bears will get it out to center ice. Orlando crosses center. Utah back defensively. Solar Bears skate towards their left. Righty shot. Pad saved by Preek. As the rebound goes towards the left corner, Pfizer gets it. Pfizer's played a good game. He'll throw it to Bryson Martin. Martin with good speed. He'll skate out to center ice. He crosses the red line and dumps it in. Pfizer chases after it in the right corner. Pfizer tried to find out in front of the net Penner, but it goes wide. Penner back to Pfizer. He lets it go as it rolls along the boards. Back to the near corner. Orlando chips it out to center ice. The Solar Bears carry it across center. As mismatch will feed it to his right. So Solar Bears over in the corner. MacArthur throws it back to the corner. Foguet chasing after it. He gets the puck on the left side. And so get it to MacArthur in the corner, who gets hit along the wall by Tho, or make that Pouncey. Pouncey's had 2 penalties today. As puck goes back to Utah, they'll feed it to the right side. Grizz will lift it high into the air. It bounces in the Solar Bears zone. Jamison chases after it, but Jimmy Mazza gets there first, and he'll move it ahead. Orlando crosses center ice right wing, And mismatch drives it along the boards. Taken back by Nilsson, who gets it taken away as Orlando feeds it to the left side. Solar Bears almost collide as Tyler Bird skates towards the point. Now high slot, one-timer goes wide as Nilsson over in the corner avoids a check of Boca as he moves it ahead. As it rolls towards Jimmy Pareda, the Orlando goaltender, he lets it go as it goes past the goal line, and icing is on the Grizzlies with 13:06 left in the third. So neither team scored here so far in the third period. It's not a bad thing for the Grizzlies, kind of like the third period against Savannah when Utah had a 3-goal lead, because after all, if the opposition's not scoring, then you're going to win the game at the end. So Utah has done a really good job, even though Orlando has really put the pressure on as the Solar Bears have outshot the Grizzlies 6-0 here so far in the third. Draw taken by Keaton Jamison. It's won by Jamison as Nilsson tried to clear it out. It bounced off the stick of an Orlando player. Solar Bears right wing, feed it across as Utah chases it down in the near corner. Goes back over to Orlando. Ross Olson, lefty shot. Saved by Parikh. And Lucas holds on. 12:52 left in the third. It's the Grizzlies 4 and the Solar Bears 1. We're back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Grizzlies 4 and the Solar Bears 1. 12:52 is left in the third period. Orlando has outshot Utah 7-0 in the third period as the Solar Bears have 32 shots, but Lucas Parikh has stopped 31 of them. Jimmy Pareda, the Orlando goaltender, has stopped 21 of 25. Draw in the Grizzlies zone, and it's won by Utah as the Grizz will lift it high into the air as it goes behind Michael Brodzinski, who chases it down in the Solar Bears zone. As Orlando skates from right to left as we see it on Flow Sports. Left wing pass to Guy. He'll move it ahead as they're looking for number 14. Grant mismatch, but he couldn't reach it. As it goes out to center ice, Orlando gets it back. Solar Bears through a left wing pass. Did it connect? Grizzlies chase after it. No icing as Parikh behind his net will feed it towards the near side. Orlando skates towards the corner. His guy gets tripped up by Taran Pfizer as Chechovic gets the puck. He skates towards his right. Now back to the right side. Orlando with a shot, and it's blocked in front of Parikh. Grizzlies get it as Penner moves ahead to Pfizer. Pfizer collides with the Solar Bear, and that was Harper. As Pfizer along the boards, he gets cross-checked in the back. No call. As near Utah's bench, big-time scrum near the blue line as Grizzlies will feed it across. Victor Bartley crosses center. Left wing, Bartley gains the line, ships over to Fitz, who gets it to Cam Strong, cutting in front of the net, but the puck rolls towards Pareda, who covers up, and Cam Strong doing what he could to avoid Pareda as Strong was cutting towards the net strongly. Pun not intended, as Dylan Fitz was on the left side, trying to find Strong cutting in front of the net. And the puck ended up gliding too close to the Orlando goaltender, who covered up. And then Strong did a good job avoiding the Orlando goaltender, and he wanted to do that because if he got too close to the goaltender, then a Solar Bear was there to make sure to confront him. Remember, it's the same teams tomorrow night, 4:45 pregame show. As we're back to live action, Grizzlies have the puck in their own end as McDonald throws it across. As now McDonald gets it back from Aaron Tho. McDonald will throw it to the far side. Grizzlies gather it. Martell feeds the high slot, and Orlando cuts in front of Cam Strong to pick it off. Orlando crosses center ice. McDonald pokes it away as it rolls back to Tho. Now McDonald gets it. Now he'll throw it back to the far side, and Grizz will move it ahead. I think that's Bryson Martin looking for Martell. No icing as Martell gets the puck on the right side. He's in the offensive zone as he skates near the corner. He spins it around to the far side. Orlando tries to chip it off of Nilsson, and they do as it goes to center ice. As Connor McDonald in a foot race over in the far corner as he collides with Drew. as McDonald holds up Drew. Simeone hacks away looking for the puck. Bryson Martin over there as well. As puck glides towards the far side, Utah gets it. Cam Strong crosses center, and he'll dump it in as Paredes cuts it off to the left of his net, and he'll get it to Luke McInnes, who skates around the net. McInnes will dish it out to the left side as Orlando gets it poked away. It rolls back into the Solar Bears zone. McInnes skates over there, so is Cameron Wright. As Wright battling with McInnes. Wright gets the puck, and he spins it towards the far side. Now to the far as Luke Boca collides with Jamison. Raby gets hit by Samikin, the Russian, as puck glides towards the near side, and Orlando ices the puck as it rolls along the near wing boards as we get a whistle with 10:20 left in the third. So draw comes back towards Jimmy Paredes. I think the Grizzlies have one or two shots here so far in the third period. Orlando has the shot edge, but the Grizzlies still with a 3-goal lead. Orlando has outshot Utah 7-1 here so far in the third period. Grizz win the draw. Nilsson with a lefty shot, saved by Paredes. Rebound goes out to the far side. Orlando will carry it out of the zone as Tyler Bird crosses center ice. He'll skeet towards his right as he gets cut off by Cameron Wright and loses the puck as Utah gets it back. As Andrew Nilsson feeds a rink-wide pass, and it connects to center ice. Now the Grizz across to Jamison. Jamison skeets towards his left. He steps over the blue line. Now to the left circle. Centers it to Raby. Raby backhand shot. Saved by Paredes. Rebound shot goes wide by Cameron Wright. Orlando gathers it. Solar Bears at neutralized cross center. Nilsson delivers a hit as the Solar Bears dump it in. Parikh plays it behind his net. He'll give it over to James Shearer. He's got an A on his sweater. Shearer will ricochet it over towards Bryson Martin. Back to the right side for Penner. He'll kick it off with Raby. Raby spins himself around as Orlando gains the line right side. As the puck bounced from the right side onto Parikh, who gathers it on one hop of the ice, and he holds on as we get a whistle with 9:27 left in the third period. Timeout on the ice will take one as well. It's the Grizzlies 4 and the Solar Bears 1. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
I live for my next goal. Whether it's another pick six or another step forward in life, I wouldn't be who I am without the drive to reach it. And I wouldn't be where I am without my team. Everyone on and off the field who supports me and believes in my dreams as much as I do. Whatever your goals are, surround yourself with people who are going to help you reach toward them. Like my friends at America First, and see where life takes you.
9:27 left in the third period. Utah leads 4-1 as Orlando scored first. Then Utah scored 4 unanswered. Orlando wins the draw. Far wing shot saved by Parikh. Now right wing shot saved by Parikh again. Rebound goes to the right side as Orlando has a shot edge in the third period, but Utah leads 4-1. Dylan Fitz, the former Solar Bear, throws it to Pfizer. Pfizer's on a hat trick watch. Pfizer backhand shot saved by Paredes. Pfizer gets it back to the left side across to Pouncey. He'll take a shot saved by Paredes again. And Orlando holds on. 9:01 left in the third as, the Grizzlies with a good two-shot barrage there on Jimmy Paredes as Dylan Fitz was skating towards the left side, centered it to Pfizer. Pfizer with a nice backhand shot, but somehow either Paredes made the save or it hit the side of the net. Puck stayed in play, and then they ended up finding an open Kyle Pouncey on the right side, and Pouncey had a good look, but Paredes made the save. 9:01 left in the third. Utah has 2 goals from Taron Pfizer. Cameron Wright has also found the back of the net, and so is Vladislav Mikhalchuk. Not necessarily in that order. Grizzlies lead 4-1 out to center ice. Orlando carries it in the zone. Cam Strong tripped up Orlando, but they got away with it. Right wing shot, glove saved by Parikh. Lucas holds on with 8:44 left in the third. Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone, but you talk about a good 3-game stretch here for Lucas Parikh. He got the victory against Greenville, stopping 29 of 32. 2 days later against Savannah, stopped 27 of 30 in a Grizzlies 6-3 win. And here so far this evening, he's seen at least 33 shots, and he's stopped all but one. As Lucas Parikh, the former third-round pick of the LA Kings, has played good hockey over the last 3 games. In fact, it's now 33 of 34 for Lucas Parikh as the Solar Bears have outshot the Grizzlies 9-3 here in the third period. Tyler Penner, Victor Bartley, and Andrew Nilsson are each a +2 for Utah. As the draw won by Orlando, but they couldn't handle it in the right circle as Utah lifts it high into the air, bounces it neutral ice. Solar Bears gather it. Orlando will feed it out to center ice, and it bounces off the Solar Bear, who will dump it in. As chasing after it's Braden Guy, as Utah avoids a check of Guy, as he tried to blast Utah along the end wall. It goes to center ice. Martell 2-on-3, steps over the line, trying to chip it across to McCallchuck, but Martell kept it. He gets double-teamed and hit along the far corner. McCallchuck back over there. Martell delivers a hit on Jimmy Mazza, and Chechevich over there as well. As now McCallchuck around the net, as Martell gets it back to McCallchuck, very similar to how he scored in the first period. As he throws it back to the corner, Martell skates over there. Cam Strong around the net. He's looking for the wraparound shot, saved by Preda. Now Strong gets double-teamed as Preda covers up, as Jimmy Mazza and Max Ballinson drag down Cam Strong. And Strong was just hacking away towards Preda, and it was like two guys dragging down Cam Strong, but they did it softly. It's almost like it's almost like putting down a baby, just like we're just going to kind of slowly drag you to the ice. 7:52 is left in the third. Utah leads 4-1. Faceoff's going to be in the Solar Bears zone. And really, it's been an outstanding effort for the Grizzlies. They allowed the power play goal early on, but the Grizzlies have really settled in and have played good hockey over the last 3 games. Utah has the puck over on the far side, and it ends up deflecting out of play. Cameron Wright was in the area, so is Keaton Jamison. So it looks like the draw is going to stay in the Orlando zone. There's a few fans having a good time over there in Orlando. Looks like a really, really good crowd for a Sunday afternoon. The attendance, they haven't announced it yet, but I'd imagine there's probably 5,000 or 6,000 there. As Utah wins the draw, they get it back to Cameron Wright. He's on the left side, just outside the circle. As the Grizz in the offensive zone, they feed it over to Aaron Tho. It bounced off an Orlando stick. Tho gets it in the right side. He gets double-teamed as he gets hit along the boards and goes down. As Grizz over in the right point, Jamison keeps it in. He'll get it across to Wright. One-timer, and it goes wide. As Wright's got 6 goals in his last 4 games, including 1 today. He's over to the right side. Raby battles Aaron Tho, but it's Orlando that carries it out to center ice. They chase after it. Shearer moves it back ahead. As Raby will throw it back to Tho. Tho will move it to Shearer back in the Grizzlies zone. Shearer surveys. Now dishing out to center ice for Cameron Wright, who glides it along the boards as it spins to the right side. As Raby over there with Jamison. Raby gets hit, and taking the puck is Orlando as they feed it out to center ice. Ross Olson at center ice trying to throw it to Luke Boca, but he was skating the other way. Pouncey gathers it and throws it ahead. Left circle. As Raby with a shot from the left side and goes wide. As Harper gets it. I want to call him Luke Harper, but his name's Chris. Chris Harper crosses center ice and dumps it in. I'm not even sure who Luke Harper is. It must be somebody I knew in high school. I know of Mitch Harper, though, from KSL. He's a good friend. As it goes back over to the left side, Grizzlies move it towards center, but Orlando is able to keep it in as they've got this close-up angle again. Tyler Bird throws to the left point. Now back to Bird from Harper. As Bird throws it across, goes back to Fitz, who moves it across. Pfizer chases after it along the near boards, but it's Orlando that gets it, and they'll pitch it out to center. As Fitz gathers it, dumps it back in. All right, he tried to dump it in. Instead, throws it to Penner, dumps it in. Grizzlies make a line change, about 6 minutes left in the third period. There's Orlando behind the net. Harper gets pushed by Penner. Now Penner battles on the left side. He gets the puck. Grizzlies winning the 50-50 pucks today as Fitz gets pushed around along the blue line. Fitz keeps it in, throws it to the corner for Penner. Penner back across to Pfizer, goes wide. Now McDonald, one-timer, saved by Pareda. Orlando tried to clear it out. It stays in. Pfizer right side takes a shot, saved by Pareda. Orlando clears it out, and I imagine it's going to be icing on the Solar Bears. Parade holds up his left arm, and the linesman agrees. Icing on the Orlando with 5:34 left in the third period. Neither team has scored here in the third frame, which is just fine by the Grizzlies. Utah had 2 in the first and 2 in the second. Orlando scored earlier in the first period, and Utah scored 4 unanswered since. Don't forget, same teams tomorrow evening, 5 o'clock start, 4:45 pregame show. Then the Grizzlies will be home for a 3-game series against the Allen Americans. So they're back to live action. Puck is at neutral ice. Grizzlies skate back in. Martell skates towards the left circle, take a shot, saved by Pareda. Rebound goes to the right side as Orlando will carry it out to center ice. The Solar Bears gained the line. They get a good poke check by McDonald. As now Cam Strong gets it. They'll skate towards the near corner. Now feed it to the other corner. As Bartley moves it ahead to Martell, or ricochet it to Michalchuk, who avoids a check at center ice. But the puck goes back to Orlando. It's Max Ballinson. Will feed it ahead to neutral ice. Pass connects. Orlando 2-on-3. Tape-to-tape pass to Duro. Duro was over in the left circle, and Utah takes it away. Grizz feed it out to neutral ice. Orlando skates back in, but Nilsson gathers it. As Andrew Nilsson, 3-on-3, skates down the middle. He feeds a left wing pass to Martell. Martell with a shot. Saved by Pareda. And the Orlando goaltender holds on, and after the whistle, looks like somebody wants to attack a Grizzly. Somebody wanted to go after Vladislav Michalchuk, who just smiles with 4:39 left in the third as the linesman stepped in between those guys. Couldn't see who it was with Orlando that, for some reason, was very upset at Vladislav Michalchuk. 4:39 left in the third period. As Utah leads 4-1. We mentioned Orlando. They scored 3:29 in, and that was Foguet, who got his 9th of the year, Duro, and Ballinson with the assist. Orlando's 1 for 3 on the power play. Taryn Pfizer tied it up with a power play goal. It was a 5-on-3 tally. 8:17 into the first. Nilsson and Raby with the assists. And then Michalchuk right now, it's listed as the potential game winner. He scored 17-11 into the first. It was unassisted. Utah led 2-1 after one period. Taryn Pfizer scored 12:56 into the second frame with Fitz and Penner getting the assists. And then Cameron Wright scored 18:36 into the second period with Shear and Nilsson getting the assists. 2 goals for Taryn Pfizer, 2 assists for Andrew Nilsson. Nobody has scored here so far in the third, as Utah is 1 for 5 on the power play, and Orlando is 1 for 3. Orlando has outshot Utah 34 to, actually the Grizzlies are now even up on the shot count, as Utah has taken quite a few shots over the last couple minutes. Both teams have taken 9 shots in the third, and both have 34 here in the game. Lucas Preek has stopped 33 of 34, and Jimmy Pareda of Orlando has stopped 30 of 34. As we're back to live action, 4.5 minutes left in the third period. As it goes into the Grizzly zone on the near side, Grizzlies get blasted as looks like frustration starting to settle in on Orlando's side. Raby skates towards the right side. We got a fight near the Grizzlies bench as it looks like a line brawl. Now McInnes is skating towards Jamison. Now it looks like Jamison's getting a few punches to the back of his neck. Now Aaron Tho is holding up an Orlando skater. Orlando's throwing punches. This is just a bunch of cheap shots as Olsen punches Cameron Wright, and you could definitely sense the frustration settling in on the Orlando side, as now Andrew Nilsson is getting punched by Tyler Bird. I don't know if this is anything the Grizzlies want to do. It looked like Orlando just attacked the Grizzlies on the Utah bench. As there's a linesman between Bird and Nilsson Nilsson still has his glove on. I'm not sure what caused this, but we had a line brawl pretty much near the Grizzlies bench, as Nilsson didn't look like he wanted any part of that. And it was just interesting to see as Dakota Raby was skating into the offensive zone all by himself, or maybe it was one-on-one. And Tyler Bird throws his helmet down near the Orlando bench. Looks like Bird's going to get a penalty. Looks like Nilsson's going to go to the Utah box. And not sure, there was some other guys throwing punches. Keaton Jamison took a few punches to the back of his head. And then somebody was punching Cameron Wright pretty good as well. So Bird goes to the penalty box. Looks like Ross Olson's already in there. Ross Olson looked like he was throwing some punches. We'll see who goes to the box for Utah, as there's 4:25 left in the third. And it'd be nice to see a replay just to figure out what exactly caused all that. As the hitting has started to pick up in the third period. As there's a push. Nilsson threw a push there on the boards. Aaron Tho. Then somebody really threw a shot. Luke McInnes really threw a shot at Cameron Wright. And then Ross Olson just attacked Aaron Tho, and it was on from there. We're not really sure why Olson decided to attack Tho. There was a big hit along the near boards, but just because somebody delivers a big hit on you doesn't mean that it turns into a fight. Just because somebody hits you hard doesn't mean we got to fight about it. Then Olson threw a few punches at Cameron Wright. Wright didn't look like he wanted any part of that. And obviously Olson's a physical presence. And then Tyler Bird went after Nilsson. And it didn't look like Nilsson really wanted any part of Tyler Bird. As looked like Olson and Boca tried to protect Cameron Wright, and then Nilsson jumped in there. And then Bird jumped on Nilsson. And then it looked like McInnes was throwing some punches at Jamison. And then Wright went after Tyler Bird, and Ross Olson said, nope, you're fighting me instead. So Olsen threw some punches at Cameron Wright. I'm not sure what start. It doesn't look like the Grizzlies really did anything except for try to play physical hockey near the boards. And the Grizzlies have won those 50-50 pucks along the boards over the last 3 games. They won in Greenville and won in Savannah. And I think that's a big part as to why the Grizzlies are winning here 4-1. And because of the scoreboard, I think you got to give the Grizzlies the benefit of the doubt that Orlando's probably more interested in playing that sort of hockey than Utah is at this point. As after all, the Grizzlies just trying to find a way to keep this 3-goal lead and see if they can find a way to, win the first game of this series. And obviously the Grizzlies done a really good job here over the last 7 minutes and not letting Orlando get those good shots off. It looks like the fans are having a good time in Orlando as all that action happened right near the Grizzlies bench. There wasn't much the Grizzlies players on the bench could do about it, as after all, they're just sitting there, just kind of sitting on the bench, just kind of watching it all take place. It looked like Aaron Tho, and all Tho tried to do was play physical hockey, and then it just turned into a melee. So Connor McDonald, the Grizzlies captain, looking over as the referee and 2 linesmen try to sort things out. There's 4:25 left in the third period. Utah leads 4-1. The attendance over at Amway Center is 5,912, 5,9112, a really good Sunday afternoon crowd over at Amway Center. So we'll see what happens out of this whole stretch. It looked like Dmitry Semikin, the Russian, who's the former 3rd-round pick by Tampa Bay. He's talking with the linesman, as is Connor McDonald. As be interesting if anybody gets a power play out of it. And really, based on what we saw, it should be the Grizzlies that should get a power play. And speaking of physical play, the Allen Americans will be in town for a 3-game set. And remember, the last time the Grizzlies faced the Allen Americans, the game ended with a goalie fight, and the Grizzlies ended up with 96 minutes in penalties, and Allen had 50. So that could be a very physical series. You're going to want to get your tickets for all 3 games because it's probably going to be very physical in one of the 3 games. We're not entirely sure which one it would be. Don't forget a Bud Light College night with discounted student tickets will be on Wednesday, February 22nd. That's the Grizzlies' next home game. Utah's got an AFCU Friday against Allen, a 7:10 start. And with every AFCU Friday, tickets start just $8 when you pay using your AFCU debit or credit card at the Maverick Center box office. Friday and Saturday night at Maverick Center is going to be Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend, presented by Mountain Land Supply Company, as the Grizzlies will be wearing specialty jerseys, and on the jerseys are the names of those that have been impacted by cancer, or at least some of the names that have been impacted by cancer, and it's certainly a good look. It's very similar. It looks like a couple of Orlando Solar Bears have been asked to take an early shower. Now, for some reason, Aaron Tho's been kicked out of the game as well. I'm not sure what Tho did. I mean, obviously, with the camera angle that we're getting and the camera angle switching every 7 seconds, it's very well possible that there's been a lot of stuff that's happened away from the screen that we have no clue about. Looks like Keaton Jamison's going to the locker room as well. I think we got a slight glance on Flow Sports of a couple of Orlando Solar Bears being thrown out as well. I got to think Ross Olson would be done for the night, and Luke McInnes kind of skating over there. And I'd have to think that Tyler Bird, I mean, if Jamison's going out and so is Aaron Tho, I got to think Tyler Bird's going to get an early shower as well. It looks like we're going to have the puck at center ice, and Dakota Raby maybe gets a penalty shot. I mean, there was a line brawl while Raby had the puck in the offensive zone. I don't know if he was all by himself. I think there was a Solar Bear there as well when the whistle blew, at least near Raby or chasing after him. Utah leads 4-1. The puck is at center ice as there's a lot of sorting out to do. And since we can't see the scoreboard, we don't really get a seat. Simeone's in the penalty box right now. Simeone looking things over. I don't even think he was on the ice for the brawl. As every fan in attendance watching themselves on the video board. And I believe the feed we're getting on Flow Sports is pretty much the same one that they show on the video board at Amway Center. So Utah leads 4-3. I'm really looking forward to the series against Allen. Chechevich goes to the box for Orlando. He's going to sit there. Looks like there's another Solar Bear that's already sitting in that box. I imagine both benches are pretty close to empty. We're back to live action. 4:20 left in the third period. And looks like we're counting bodies. There's at least 4 out there for Utah. And can't see widescreen who's in there for Orlando. It looks like we're skating 4-on-4 with about 4 minutes left in regulation. Orlando has the puck deep in their own zone. as Luke McInnes, don't call him Jeff, is crossing center ice. Jeff was a former point guard at North Carolina. Skates towards the right circle. Orlando looks to center it. Good play by Pfizer to cut it off. Pfizer's been outstanding on both ends of the ice tonight. Rink-wide pass to McDonald. Connor on the right side loses the puck as he got hit by Langen. Make that Giroux has been active for Orlando. Giroux wearing number 21 is Langen's number 23. Orlando has it in their own zone. We believe they're skating 4-on-4 as the Solar Bears at neutral ice back to their blue line. We'll drop it off with 3.5 minutes left in the third. Orlando to the right wing, crosses center ice. Now they gain the line. Penner chasing after him. Orlando to the right circle, looks to center, and it glanced off a Grizzly stick and bounced off the end wall. Parikh goes down as Orlando took a shot at Parikh. Parikh is hurt. Now we got a fight as somebody took a shot at Bartley. As Victor Bartley drags down Jimmy Mazza. I believe Mazza took a shot at Lucas Parikh with 3:21 left in the third. And Victor Bartley stood up for the goaltender as Parikh was laying in the crease. He fell down, and Victor Bartley fought Jimmy Mazza. Didn't look like either guy got a big-time punch in before Bartley dragged down Jimmy Mazza. So it looks like Mazza and Bartley are out for the rest of the game as Lucas Parikh laughs as Colin Lee, the Grizzlies trainer, went out to see if he's okay as Parikh gets his helmet back. 3 minutes, 21 seconds left in the third as Jimmy Mazza fought Victor Bartley. As we didn't really get a good look at the play, but all we knew is that all of a sudden Lucas Parikh fell down. And it had to have been Jimmy Mazza because that's the guy that Victor Bartley went after. Looks like the faceoff is going to be in the Orlando zone. 3:21 is left in the third period. So the penalty minutes are racking up pretty good. I imagine since that'd just be a 5-minute for fighting for each Mazza and Bartley, we're going to continue to skate 4-on-4. They still haven't updated the ECHL box score, which is what I look at to keep track of the stats. So we're not sure yet. I'd imagine Mazza is going to get a goaltender interference penalty. That'd be the second goaltender interference penalty on the Solar Bears today. Lucas Parikh himself got a roughing penalty 55 seconds into the second period. So we're going to skate 4-on-3 as Mazza, I believe, got goaltender interference, and then Bartley and Mazza fought around center ice. Sean Sidlowski is going to the penalty box for Orlando to represent Mazza, who also got the fighting major. As Utah wins the draw, Bryson Martin towards the near side. These same teams tomorrow's play starting to get very, very physical here over the last 5 minutes. Orlando carries it across center ice. Big-time hit delivered by Bryson Martin. Parikh behind his net will give it to Kyle Pouncey, who skates to the right side. Pouncey out to neutral ice. He'll cross center. Pouncey gains the line with good speed. He'll skate towards the corner. Pouncey now around the net. Now he's to the left side. Pouncey over to the left. We'll get it back to Penner on the right side. Back to Pouncey. He's in the right point. Stops now. He skates towards the corner. Pouncey now in the circle. Fires it towards the side of the net, looking for Penner, and the puck rolls back to the far side. Now the Grizzlies get it. Fitz left side shot. Saved by Prada. Rebound goes to Orlando, who clears along the near wing boards and all the way out towards Lucas Parikh. Parikh behind his net. Gets it with 2:25 left in the third. He'll get it to Martin as the Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the third period. Michalchuk, right side, crosses center ice. Now he gains the offensive line, skates towards the corner, and chips it around the boards. Martel trying to get it back to Michalchuk. Orlando picked it off and clears it out. As Parikh plays it to the right corner, he spins it along the wall. As it goes back to McDonald, he's in the far corner. 2 minutes left in the third period, and this baby's in the refrigerator as Utah leads 4-1. Grizz back in their own zone. Simeone skates down the middle. As time is obviously on the Grizzlies side, Utah's got a 4-on-3 power play. Simeone gets held up along the far boards, taken by McDonald, who moves it ahead. As Orlando gathers it at their blue line. 1:43 and counting left in the third. They'll move it ahead, and it goes deep into the Grizzlies zone. Parikh plays it behind his net. So he'll give it to Pouncey. Pouncey, it looked like Parikh lost his balance for a second. I don't know if Orlando hit him in the crease. As the Grizzlies cross center. Now they feed it to the left side for Simeone. Across to Michalchuk, and the pass is picked off by Orlando in the slot. Solar Bears clear it out. Parikh behind the nets. Will skate towards the far side. Orlando gets tripped up from Parikh. And fans obviously want a penalty on Parikh, which should be his second of the game. Grizzlies cross center. Now they skate over to the left side. Strong over to Fitz. Will take a shot. Saved by Prada. It might have been blocked by Orlando out in front of defenseman in front of Prada. Over to the left side. Less than 1 minute left in the third. Fitz feeds it to Pfizer on hat trick. Watch him make that penalty. Takes a shot that's blocked Now Pouncey back to the slot for Penner. He'll drift it to the left side for sure. He winds and fires, and the shot's blocked about 5 feet in front of Pareda. Now Pouncey centers it. Orlando picks it off, and they throw it to the near side. Solar Bears across center ice. Grizzlies cut in front of him, but Orlando keeps the puck, but they're offside with 38 seconds left in the third. So it looks like Utah's going to win their third in a row. They'll pick up a standing point in 4 straight games. And we consider how the month of February started for the Grizzlies, losing their first 5 in the month. It's good to see the Grizzlies back on the right track. As with the victory, the Grizzlies will be 3-1-1 through 5 games in the road trip. I think if you're a Grizzlies fan coming into the trip, if you thought, okay, 6 games, you win 4 of them, all of them on the road, come back to face Allen, I think you'd take that. So it looks like an Orlando player has been asked to leave. Looks like somebody's getting the gate for the Solar Bears. 38 seconds left in the third. Draw's going to be at neutral ice. Looks like number 27, Maxim Chechovic, is being removed from the game. As the referee told him to head to the locker room. Orlando fans seem frustrated as the Solar Bears have the puck, but it's deep in their own zone. We didn't see the face-off. I imagine the Grizzlies won the draw and cleared it out or something. Out to center ice, 26 seconds left. Orlando back in their own zone as Braden Guy will throw it ahead. Orlando doesn't look like they're in any rush. Now Guy gets it, skates down the middle. Over to the right side, they get a lefty shot. Glove saved by Parikh. And Lucas holds on with 15.8 seconds left in the third. Boy, Parikh's been busy tonight, but he's certainly been active, and he's kind of been physical. He committed a penalty 55 seconds into the third period, and there was also 2 separate occasions where there was goaltender interferences called against Orlando players. Grizzlies win the draw. McDonald skates out to center ice, 10 seconds left. Over to the left circle, taken by Orlando. 7 seconds. They move it out to center ice, but they couldn't connect on a pass. Grizz move it ahead, 3 seconds, 2. And we got a fight in the Grizzly zone as somebody's attacking Christian Simeone. As Simeone's in a fight. And the linesmen step in. Who is it that Simeone's got? As an Orlando player just went after Christian Simeone. And it's Braden Guy. Guy and Simeone fought deep in the Orlando zone with 3.4 seconds left. Simeone walks off the ice, and he's now going to the locker room. Braden Guy as well. And we didn't get to see the start of it. All we did know is that play had stopped, and the camera showed 2 guys fighting over there along the end wall behind the Orlando nets. So the referee and 2 linesmen have had their work cut out for them over the last 5 minutes. And they haven't updated any of the penalties on the ECHL app. So we have 3 seconds left in the third. I think that's the second fight that Christian Simeone has been in this year. As the draw is going to be in the Orlando zone as the Grizzlies are going to get the victory as their record's going to go to 22, 24, and 2. Orlando with the loss will fall to 24, 21, 6, and 1. As we get the face-off, we'll do it over again. Now time starts to run off, and that will do it. Grizzlies win. Grizzlies win 4-1, and there is no doubt about it. As Taryn Pfizer scored 2 goals, Andrew Nilsson had 2 assists, and what a performance by Lucas Parikh as he stopped all but one as the Grizzlies go to congratulate the Utah netminder. Play started to get ultra physical late in the third period as Lucas Parikh stopped 35 of 36. Both teams had 1 power play goal, and both teams had 36 shots. But Orlando scored 3:29 into the contest, and then the Grizzlies scored 4 unanswered. As Taryn Pfizer had 2 goals, Cameron Wright found the back of the net for the 6th time in his last 4 games. And the Grizz also got a goal from Vladislav Mikalchuk, who got his 4th of the season. Sweet victory for the Grizzlies, indeed, who are back on the winning track as they have won 3 in a row after losing 5 in a row. And the Grizzlies now have a standing point in 4 straight games. Post-game show starts in 30 seconds. Once again, the final score from Amway Center. It's the Utah Grizzlies 4 and the Orlando Solar Bears 1. This is Utah Grizzlies hockey, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can, and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
It's the Utah Grizzlies 4 and the Orlando Solar Bears 1 as it's a happy Sunday afternoon as the Grizz in front of 5,912 over at Amway Center scored 4 unanswered after Orlando scored 3:29 into the game as Matthew Foguet got his 9th of the year. It was a power play goal. Jaden Daru and Max Ballinson picked up the assist. Orlando went 1 for 3 on the power play. Utah right now listed as 1 for 5, but there were so many penalties in the last 5 minutes, and the ECHL app has not updated any of the penalties over the last 5 minutes of play. So as we see, while the game was still in the balance, Utah went 1 for 5 on the power play, and Orlando was 1 for 3. Grizz tied up the game at 1, 8:17 into the first as Taron Pfizer with his first of 2 goals in the game as he scored from the left side. Nilsson and Raby with the assists. And the time of the goal was 8:17 into the first that tied the game at 1. The game-winning goal was scored by Vladislav Mikalchuk. He got his 4th of the year, but before we get to Mikalchuk's goal, Taron Pfizer picked up the Optum first goal of the game. With Optum, we're creating a healthier world, one insight, one connection, and one person at a time. On Friday night, Dylan Fitz got Utah's first goal 14 seconds in, as Fitz playing his first game in Orlando since being traded from the Solar Bears to the Grizzlies on March 24th of 2022. Mikalchuk scored unassisted 17-11 into the first. That turned out to be the game winner, and that gave Utah a 2-1 lead. The Grizz led 2-1 after one period. Orlando outshot Utah 15-14 in the period. In the second, Taron Pfizer extended the Grizzlies' lead with his 15th of the year. Fitz and Penner with the assist. Time of goal, 12:56 into the second as Pfizer just had the puck for about 5 or 6 seconds. He was just outside the left circle, and then he skated into the circle, just fired it over the right shoulder of Jimmy Pareda. As it was a beauty from Pfizer, has been outstanding in the road trip, and Taron Pfizer now has a point in 8 of his last 11 games. Cameron Wright fired a shot late in the second period that bounced off the glass, and then the puck kind of knuckled high into the air, and then out in front of the crease, Cameron Wright skated over there and just kind of batted it into the back of his of the Orlando net. As Wright scored his 18th of the year, the 18 goals lead the Grizzlies. Scheer and Nilsson with the assists. So Andrew ended up the night with 2 assists as he now leads the Grizzlies with 11 multiple-point games on the season. And Cameron Wright with 1 goal. He didn't get a multiple-point game this afternoon, but he does have 6 goals in his last 4 games. He's been unbelievable for the Grizzlies here on the road trip, and that gave Utah a 4-1 lead when Wright scored 18:36 into the second, and that was all she wrote with the scoring. Neither team scored in the third period, and it looks like they're still trying to update all the fights and all the penalties that took place in the final 5 minutes of regulation. You know, we're only at the mercy of the one camera angle that we're seeing, so it's hard to say who started the fights. It's hard to say why they started. I got to say, though, sometimes when a team is down 4-1, frustration does settle in, and so it's hard to say whether, without being there, whether it's Orlando jumping on the Grizzlies and forcing the Grizz to fight, or, if the Grizzlies maybe did something to kind of start things and then Orlando was trying to finish it. It's hard to really say. You almost had to be there to figure out why the fight started. Was there any cheap shots involved off the screen that got the fights to start? That got kind of things rumbling as we had pretty much a line brawl with 4.5 minutes left in regulation out in front of the Grizzlies bench. And it was really more Orlando punching Utah, and it looked like the Grizzlies were just trying to find a way to defend themselves. And really, all Aaron Thoe tried to do is play physical hockey along the near wall. And the Grizzlies, really what you think about over the last 3 games, what's been different for the Grizz than it was earlier in the month of February. I'm not sure the Grizzlies played really physical against Allen, and I thought for the most part played pretty well, played pretty physical in the 2 games against Rapid City. They didn't necessarily play well, but they played physical in those games. So I don't think there was a lack of physicality earlier in February. I think for the Grizzlies, they're just being smarter about it. They're taking fewer penalties, and unfortunately, the penalty kill over the last 3 games has kind of struggled a little bit, but the Grizzlies, have really dominated action 5-on-5. You think about the Grizzlies outscored the Solar Bears 3-0 in 5-on-5 play. That means over the last 2 games, the Grizzlies have outscored opponents 9-0 in 5-on-5 action. If you're going to do that, you're going to win a lot of hockey games. And so even though the Grizzlies penalty kill has struggled a little bit over the last 3 games, the Grizzlies have looked good on the power play as they had a power play goal again this evening. And really the Grizzlies dominating 5-on-5 action. It looks like a lot of players are stepping up over the last 5 or 6 games. Taryn Fizer's played good hockey. Grizz are getting amazing performances from Cameron Wright, who just seems to be an offensive weapon that every single game, whether he's scoring or not, he's going to take 5 or 6 shots. He's going to be an impact player. Wright came into play tonight with 177 shots on goal. That leads all league rookies. Wright ended up with another 5 here this evening. Tyson Whiting led the Grizzlies with 8 shots. 2 of them found the back of the net. Dylan Fitz, in his first game back to Orlando since being traded last year, he had 7 shots and 1 assist and a +1 rating. For the Grizzlies, Tyler Penner had 1 assist and was a +2. Andrew Nilsson with 2 assists. He was a +2. And Victor Bartley, in his first game on the road trip, as Bartley was on paternity leave, essentially, as he had a new addition to his family. Congratulations to the Bartley family. But Victor played a good game as well, and he got in a fight late in the third period. It looks like the off-ice officials in Orlando are still calculating all the penalties over the last 5 minutes, so we're not entirely sure what any of them are, although I got to imagine the Grizzlies and Solar Bears will rack up quite a few penalty minutes over the last 5 minutes of regulation, as Christian Simeone got in a fight with an Orlando player. I think it was Braden Guy with 3 seconds left in regulation. And then Victor Bartley, before that, got in a fight with Jimmy Mazza, and then obviously had the line brawl essentially near the Grizzlies bench where he had a couple guys on each side go off. We did see Aaron Tho and Keaton Jamison head to the locker room, and we do know there was a couple other Solar Bears that went out, but they didn't show them on the screen. So we're not sure. We weren't able to identify the Orlando players that went off, but play got really physical there in the last 5 minutes, and you wouldn't expect anything less from two teams that see each other twice every few years. I mean, both games last season went to overtime when the Grizzlies were over at Amway Center, and we want to give Orlando the benefit of the doubt, but I do know that frustration started to settle in there on the Solar Bears once they realized that the Grizzlies were going to come away with 2 standings points, but obviously without any proof of any cheap shots that happened away from the screen or really knowing how the thing started. It's just one of those things that happens sometimes late in hockey games. And even though the teams aren't really familiar with each other, it's just sometimes the way it goes. But the Grizzlies came away with the standings points. Let's see. They've now updated some of these penalties. A lot of them happened 15:35 into the third period. Looks like Keaton Jamison got a double minor for roughing. He also got a misconduct for continuing altercation. Andrew Nilsson didn't even drop his gloves, but he got fined for fighting in a 10-minute misconduct, even though it looked like the other guy was fighting him as much as Nilsson was. It looked like Tyler Bird was fighting him. It didn't look like Nilsson wanted any part of it, but Nilsson got the fine for fighting and a 10 for misconduct. Lucas Preet got a 2-minute unsportsmanlike conduct minor. Aaron Tho got a double minor for roughing and a misconduct, and that's the Utah penalties, 15:35 into the third. Tyler Bird got a double minor for roughing. He also got a misconduct for continuing altercation. Luke Boca got a misconduct he got a double minor for roughing and a misconduct for continuing altercation. And then Ross Olson got 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike, a 5-minute fighting, and a 10-minute game misconduct for fighting and continuing altercation. So all the other guys got a misconduct where Ross Olson got a game misconduct. And obviously with it being that late in the third period, everybody was just sent to the locker room. And that was and all that happened with 4:25 left in regulation, 15:35 in. So at that point, the Grizzlies had 53 penalty minutes and Orlando had 57. And it looks like they're continuing to calculate those. I imagine both teams are going to be over 60 penalty minutes by the time they're done calculating all the penalties on the ECHL app. I guess it just is what it is, though. Is there a way we can find out the 3 stars of the game? It looks like we might not be able to. It looks like now they've updated the Victor Bartley fight with Jimmy Mazza. Looked like Bartley got a double minor for roughing and a misconduct for continuing altercation. Mazza got 2 minutes for tripping, a 4-minute double minor for roughing, and a misconduct. As Jimmy Mazza tripped up Grizzlies goaltender Lucas Parikh. And we thought it was going to be a goaltender interference call, but instead they called tripping on Mazza instead of goaltender interference. But Lucas Parikh, he drew 2 penalties, and he also took 2 penalties. As Parikh got he got a roughing minor 55 seconds into the second period. And then Parikh picked up an unsportsmanlike conduct minor 15:35 into the third when everybody was dancing around and fighting near the Grizzlies bench. And so at that point, Utah was 67 minutes in penalties. Orlando was 73. And I think the only penalty that needs to be added on is the 5 minutes for fighting with Christian Simeone and Braden Guy. That would give the Grizzlies 72 penalty minutes and Orlando 78. So the Grizzlies, I guess, just trying to find a way to prepare for that Allen series with all the penalty minutes. As we know, that series is going to get ultra physical. That's going to be at Maverick Center later this week. But remember, these same teams have to meet one more time over at Amway Center. As the Grizzlies have won 3 in a row, they've got a standing point in 4 straight. And these teams will meet at 5 o'clock over at Amway Center for the second and final season meeting between the clubs. So it'll be an interesting one. We'll see if we can figure out who the 3 stars of the game are. It looks like we have to wait until they're done calculating those. But let's just hand out our own 3 stars of the game. I'm not sure in which order because everybody played a good game, it seemed like, for the Grizzlies. But in terms of what happened statistically, I think you got to give Terran Pfizer the number 1 star. He had 2 goals for the Grizz, and he had 8 shots to lead Utah. And really, he's one of those players you can tell as the season's gone along, he's gained more and more confidence. I mean, he always seemed like he had confidence coming out of Victoria, where he was a good player in the WHL. Looks like Terran Pfizer's really picked it up over the last few games, and he's played well. He's our number 1 star of the game with 2 goals. The number 2 star, we're going to give it to Lucas Parikh, who stopped 35 of 36. He's now won 3 in a row. He is 7-8 on the season. And Lucas Parikh, who drew 2 penalties and committed 2 penalties here this evening. He is the number 2 star, according to us, as we haven't seen yet who the 3 stars of the game are officially. Number 3 star, Andrew Nilsson, who had 2 assists. He also got in a fight. He was a goal away from a Gordie Howe hat trick. And so Andrew Nilsson is our number 3 star of the game. So first star, Terran Pfizer, second star, Lucas Parikh, and third star, Andrew Nilsson. As the penalty minutes really racked up there late in regulation. Really, for the Grizzlies, the important thing is very similar to the third period against Savannah. Utah had a 3-goal lead on Friday night heading into the third period against Savannah. Well, neither team scored in the third, and Utah had a 3-goal lead heading into the third period against Orlando. And once again, neither team scored in the third, and that's advantage Grizzlies as they come away with the victory, 4-1 the final. And it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow evening to see if that physical play continues as Grizzlies take on the Solar Bears. That's going to be a pretty quick turnaround coming back because they got to fly cross country from Orlando back to the Salt Lake Valley on Tuesday, and then the Grizzlies will take on the Allen Americans for the 3-game set at Maverick Center Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And don't forget, Friday and Saturday night is Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend, presented by Mountain Land Mountain Land Supply Company. And so that's going to be on Friday and Saturday, the final 2 games of the Allen series. Don't forget the Grizzlies' next home game. It's going to be a Bud Light College night on Wednesday, February 22nd. Well, that'll wrap things up as let's see if they've finally added the other penalty minutes, as Christian Simeone got 5 minutes for fighting and a 10-minute game misconduct for continuing altercation. And Braden Guy got a 5 minutes for fighting and 10-minute game misconduct. All those penalties happened 19:57 into the third. But before that, Chekovic got a 10-minute misconduct, 19:22 into the third period. So the final penalty minutes, Utah had 82, and Orlando had 78. So Orlando beats Utah's mark, as the Grizzlies, remember, had 96 penalty minutes against Allen on February 4th. Orlando did them 2 better. The Solar Bears with 98 penalty minutes. That's a new season high for any team in the league in any one game. So congratulations to the Orlando Solar Bears. They were just 2 penalty minutes away from reaching the century mark here today. And it's kind of odd considering how few penalty minutes there were in the first, I'd say 55 minutes of play. And all of a sudden the penalty minutes just racked up big time over the last 4.5 minutes. So Utah with 82 penalty minutes, Orlando with 98. And through all that, Grizzlies only had 5 power plays, and they went 1 for 5 on the power play, and Orlando went 1 for 3. It was an outstanding Sunday afternoon crowd of 5,912 over at Orlando at Amway Center. So that'll wrap things up here as I'm hanging out in the lobby at Maverick Center. And I want to apologize to those that are viewing the game on YouTube tonight, as for some reason the camera angle they decide to change camera angles like every 7 seconds on me. And it's kind of frustrating. There's so many details that I imagine went missing today. And it's really tough to kind of keep your composure when, your angle, your view of the game changes every few seconds. It's so frustrating. This isn't some fun little hobby for me. I'm trying to make a living here. And, you just, things like that happen. And it just, we want to put together the best broadcast we can. But unfortunately, sometimes you're just limited by, what you see on these road games. And so, hopefully it came across decently on the YouTube feed, although it was just tough. We're just trying to do the best we can and have some fun along the way. But I'll apologize. We'll try to be better on Monday, as it was just tough to see the game with as many camera angle changes as they decide to go with, especially in the first couple periods of play. But had some fun here this afternoon, and really the important thing is the Grizzlies came away with 2 standings points. Hopefully during the homestand in the Allen series, we'll get Guy Carenza back because he's off on assignment. Tim Broussard also off on assignment as well, as we're flying solo here on a Sunday afternoon. It was a big victory for the Utah Grizzlies, who now have a standing point in 4 straight games and a win in 3 straight. As once again in 2 hours and 32 minutes and in front of 5,912 over at Amway Center. The Grizzlies got 2 goals from Taryn Fizer, 2 assists from Andrew Nilsson. Outstanding 35 for 36 save performance from Lucas Perique. We'll have it again, once again, tomorrow night. Will be the next broadcast of Grizzlies hockey, 4:45 pregame show, face off about 5:05. Until then, I'm Tyson Whiting, and it is what it is. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.